I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna do something similar to it.
Of course you are.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, stop.
That's enough
Cut
clapping.
this out.
That's enough.
Cut that out.
I
of
am
the
cutting it
video.
out. That's enough clapping.
All right, thank you. Okay.
So much clapping.
All right, I'm just gonna do the intro now. Okay. Hey everybody, it's Pancakearmorman. Welcome to a new video. This is going to be E3 discussions. So E3 ended I think a week ago, or probably less than a week ago. And I am going to do my discussions for that. But I am not alone. And today with me are
GreenCobrasGaming.
L8RG8R2U.
And TheJamesRolls.
all right. Let's begin.
Yeah, let's begin, shall we?
We're switching it up this time by letting the new guy do the intro.
Woohoo!
Orientation! Yay!
Yeah! Yeah!
Alright, so as per usual, I have a list of questions, and we're going to try to get through these as fast as possible, but knowing us, we're going to get sidetracked very easily, so let's do this.
4
First
hours
question.
later.
What do you
God,
think
no.
of the pre...
It has begun, everybody.
First question, what do you think of the pre-E3 content, such as the new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer?
Kingdom Hearts 3 is finally coming out, and I'm not an old man. That's all I have to say about it.
Yeah. Yeah, at least I'm not 30 yet, so you know. Well, I mean, you never know. I might be 30 by the time it comes out.
Yeah, who knows? At least we got a new trailer before we got old.
Yeah.
See everybody agree?
I do kind of find funny how they had a trailer before, before not at the conferences at all or anything. But they just had it beforehand or whatever.
Yeah, they have a trailer before E3 teasing the fact that there's going to be a new trailer at D23.
Yeah, but I thought it was before. I thought they had it before the Sony conference. But I thought it was during E3 they had the trailer, but they didn't show it off in any of the conferences.
It was definitely before Microsoft's conference. I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it might have been after EA's, but before Microsoft's and Bethesda's and all that. It might have been. I don't know. I was thinking it was like the night after Bethesda's and Microsoft's and all that. Like that night, later, really early in the morning, later that night, really late. I remember it came up at 2-3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, because it initially was revealed during the orchestral tour in Japan or something.
Yeah.
But anyway,
why are all the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailers coming out in the most low-profile ways imaginable?
But yeah,
I guess Square just doesn't care. They just want to do their own thing.
Yeah, I'm excited for Kingdom Hearts 3 whenever it comes out, as well as Final Fantasy VII Remake.
But Final Fantasy VII Remake wasn't at E3.
I know.
This is about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Let them dream. Let them dream. Okay.
But I'm just saying because they're both the same.
They're literally the same game. Yes.
No, I was gonna say. I was gonna say the same company, but
I mean, I've never played Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy, so I really won't know.
Yeah, I only played I think a little bit when I was really young. The first and second one was really young of Kingdom Hearts, but everything else I haven't really played. But I've seen, but haven't played.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3, Square Enix just decided, hey, let's just do this instead of including it with Sony's conference. But yeah, so the trailer looked good, and we're getting more information in 3 weeks is D23. So I think it's just a new world, or did they say there's something else with it?
They confirmed a new world and a few other things.
Okay, so yeah, in a couple weeks we're gonna see a new world and whatever else they want to show off.
Yeah.
Hopefully the game comes out at least in 2019, because if it's delayed even further, by 2019 I should say, because you never know, maybe it could come out holiday next year, but...
yeah, I doubt it.
but hopefully the game will come out soon. Preferably the end of 2018, but I could see it being delayed until 2019 just so they can get everything polished and whatnot, because we do know from later games revealed in this conference, these conferences rather, that some games that were revealed have taken like 3 years to get done, so we'll see what happens with Kingdom Hearts 3, but the trailer looked good. The trailer announcing the next trailer looked good, I should say. And hopefully, Kingdom Hearts 3 will keep developing rather well, and we will get it sooner rather than later.
Here to you.
Yeah. I hope we get it. Kind of hope we get it before, at least at the minimum, or at the maximum, 2020. Hopefully.
Hopefully, we can get it for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that'd be great if they did it for the Nintendo Switch. That'd be fun. And hopefully, I just hope it comes out before 2020 ends.
All I want is a Nintendo Switch version. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I mean, I will get a PS4 to get this game, but I really want to get this game on the Switch because I'd love to be able to play it in the middle of college classes.
Yeah, that'd be nice. It'd be nice to play it on the Switch. That'd be pretty cool. Whenever it comes out.
Yeah.
All right, so was that everything you guys wanted to say about that?
Yeah, aren't you going to give your thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of already did. The new trailer looked good. I'm looking forward to the D23 trailer. As for the new world they're going to be announcing, I'm crossing my fingers for something Toy Story related because that's my favorite movie of all time. And the fact that we have still haven't seen anything from Toy Story in our series is, Pixar in general is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, we haven't even seen anything Pixar at all.
It's going to be called Pixar Town. It's going to have The Incredibles, Buzz, Woody, Elsa.
Elsa isn't Pixar, but okay.
Yeah, Elsa's not Pixar, but...
Are you serious? Frozen is not a Pixar movie?
No,
it's Disney.
It's Disney.
Huh.
Yeah. Frozen's not Pixar.
Okay, well, just forget I said it.
If they could have a Frozen world, that would be really cool, because I would just love to see how they could pull off a snowy mountain.
I guess they haven't confirmed. I was thinking of a different Disney movie. They confirmed Tangled. They haven't confirmed Frozen, I believe.
Yeah, but I believe they've confirmed Hercules, Tangled, Big Hero 6.
Really, it's not a Pixar movie.
Yeah, it's not a Pixar movie.
This whole time I thought it was.
It's a Disney animated. It's just Disney, not Pixar. You know, Pixar's part of Disney, but it's not Pixar though.
It certainly has the quality of an early Pixar movie. I will say that.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, I think the problem is that a lot of the Disney, like the more modern Disney movies, are kind of more 3D looking now compared to they were not that long ago, I guess.
Yeah.
If you look at Chicken Run compared to Moana, you can even see a difference in that.
Is it Chicken Run DreamWorks though?
No, that's Disney.
I thought Chicken Run is DreamWorks.
Chicken Run is Disney, and it's definitely not one of their better movies.
No, I think Chicken Little was like a collaboration between Disney and...
Excuse me, Chicken Little. That's the one.
Chicken One is DreamWorks. Chicken Little.
Yeah, that's DreamWorks. Chicken Little is Disney.
Yeah. Chicken Little is Disney. Chicken Little is
chicken movies are the same.
Glad we got that. Glad we got that over with.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing you did bring up the Frozen world idea, because I think that's like a guaranteed world.
Next we get Chicken Little world.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Frozen world is what they are probably going to show off in like a couple weeks. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be in the game.
Either that or something based off Moana.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that would be cool.
Yeah.
One or both of those is a definite guarantee.
Like, they're going to have a mini game where you have to sing along, let it go with Elsa and cheer her up.
Nice.
I'd be fine with that, even if I don't like rhythm games.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm sorry I got him started. Okay. I'm sorry I encouraged him.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Oh
I-
my god.
It's the circle of life. Can we just move on?
Thank you. You didn't have to sing that,
Yes.
but thank you.
Good,
I don't want
good
this to last
transition.
5 hours. No. Okay.
All right, now that we got that out of the way, the next question: what were your thoughts on EA and Bethesda's conferences?
Like I said, I skipped all the other ones except for the big guys. So,
The big guys.
but I bet EA was just sports.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Sports
Pretty
and
much
Star
besides,
Wars.
like, yep. Pretty much. Yep.
Star Wars Battlefront, whatever trailer. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Battlefield I'm looking forward to, but that's pretty much it. of the EAs, that the only game I'm looking for is Battlefront, really.
I like how they made such a big deal out of the fact that Battlefront 2 is going to have story mode when, in all reality, that should have been in the first game, and it's honestly not that big of a deal that it's coming back.
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of people wanted the campaign and everything for the original, but like, of course, EA said it was in the original because they wanted the game to come out. They wanted the original, well, EA's original Battlefront at least, come out when the Force Awakens came out, and that's why I didn't include it.
Is Battlefront 2 coming out when Last Jedi is released?
Who cares?
I think it is, but I think they worked. It probably is, but I think it is when the next Star Wars is coming out. But I think they worked a lot more on this one than the last one, I guess.
Any thoughts on Bethesda? Because we're probably just gonna package our thoughts on it together. At least that's what I was gonna do.
But what I do like to say about I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, but I do like the old I guess the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 game. That one was pretty fun. Back in the early mid 2000s days. Those were pretty fun games, but wasn't really fan of at all of the EA's original Battlefront. But like, I might get it. I don't know, but like that. Like, of course, I'm not gonna get on launch. I'm gonna get if I do get it, it'll be later on anyway, because I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, and having stuff that wasn't in the original game back in the sequel, which is nice for those people and everything, which probably should have been in the original game, but oh well. Still gonna at least try it out when it comes out, or sometime later, or get on sale or something like that, and see how well it does with other people too.
This might sound like a dumb question, but was there really anything at Bethesda's conference that's worth mentioning?
No.
No,
Yeah.
not really.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, just
Maybe.
because you probably aren't interested in the games, that doesn't mean there wasn't anything worthy to note of them.
True.
Well, EA and Bethesda. I didn't really watch the Bethesda conference.
That's okay. I
It's 'cause I was-
watched everything, so I'll tell you all about everything you didn't watch because you didn't feel like it.
Oh boy, I got him started. Boy.
Yeah.
So I guess it's my turn to give my thoughts then. I thought EA was all right. It's like the same thing every year. Star Wars and sports. It really is nice that they're making up for the first Battlefront with Battlefront 2, because apparently they have learned their lesson when it comes to Battlefront. So they're including the story mode. They're constantly gonna update and everything. So that's good on their part. But yeah, otherwise it was just sports for EA, and nobody really cares about the sports games. So I did, and now I'm gonna have to do an awkward cut where I cut back to me talking. Damn it! Oh, it's okay. I just mute your 3 audio on my on my recording program. I can just talk directly. It's just awkward when I have to pause listening to your guys being muted. I can still hear you through Skype, but it's not recording your audio. But it's still awkward me pausing just to hear you guys talk. Anyway, All right, let me cut back. What was I even talking about? God damn it! So anyway, yeah, EA Sports Star Wars, they're learning their lesson. Good on them. So Bethesda, the really cool thing, at least on my end, because it was like the only thing I really actually care about, but they did have key announcements for their core audience. But the Skyrim version coming to the Switch is going to be compatible with the Link amiibo from Breath of the Wild. I don't know if it's just the Archer Link or if it's the multiple one, Breath of the Wild one, but yeah, it's pretty cool that amiibo are going to be compatible, at least maybe one in Skyrim, so that's neat. Otherwise, Bethesda announced, I think they showed this off last year as well, but the VR stuff for Doom and Fallout 4, because those games will eventually be like Skyrim, and they're just made over and over again and probably last forever. And they announced I believe it's a standalone adventure, a new thing for the Dishonored series for later this year, so that was cool. The Evil Within 2, yes, I got that right. I thought I screwed that up for a second. Evil Within 2 was announced, coming for this October, so that was pretty cool. And what they ended it off on was Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus, which is something pretty cool for Wolfenstein fans. Like I said, myself personally, the only thing I'm really interested in remotely is the whole Skyrim amiibo thing, but still, for their core audience, they had a really good E3, I assume, because most of the people I saw reacting to it that are fans of Bethesda, they gave it a thumbs up, so I guess that's better than my reaction to it, just being excited over a 6-year-old game being on the Switch with compatibility with a Link amiibo.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I mean, I was actually shocked when I saw the amiibo compatibility, and then I was like, okay, now I need to pick up Skyrim. So
yeah, I honestly thought Skyrim on Switch would be like a really lazy port, but no, it looks like they're putting a lot of effort into this one. Like, the amiibo thing, you got Skyward Sword-esque, most of the controls with the Joy-Cons, which looks really cool.
Yeah, the motion control, I forgot to mention that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, I think it's the special edition one they're using for the Switch, too, so it's not like it's just they're using the really old one. They're using the updated one, so that's very good.
Yeah, that'd be pretty, like... Yeah, I prefer them using like the updated I guess the updated special edition one over the older engine or whatever. But yeah, I'm really excited for the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim on the Switch. Pretty nice. I already own the game. I don't know if I'm gonna get the Switch version just because the only thing different is able to play on the go, which would be awesome, and the amiibo support. But the thing is, like I said, I already own the game, so which I don't know if I'll just rebuy just to get the amiibo and play it on the go with the different controls and all that. But yeah, but the amiibo thing looked really cool, especially when they showed the Zelda and everything, and that's. Like I said, like the TheJamesRolls, that's pretty much the only game I'm really excited for as well. But like that Wolfenstein game did look pretty interesting though. Despite I never played a Wolfenstein game at all before or anything. But let's say, mainly just looking for the Skyrim thing. Even though probably not gonna get it, but still looks interesting, and I might maybe play it at a friend's house if one of my friends ever gets it and everything. Because that'd be fun to use different amiibos in that game and all that. That's pretty much my opinion of Theater's just that, and the Wolfenstein looks a little interesting, but don't know anything about the series that much. So, now your guys' turn. They get to you and Pancake.
Pancake already gave us.
I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about Wolfenstein, so yeah.
I'm just gonna say this: all you need to know about Wolfenstein is Robot Hitler, and that's basically all you need to know.
Yeah, Robot Hitler.
All right, so I was going to save this question for later, but I think it makes more sense to ask it now, since we talked about Skyrim for a bit. What do you think of the third-party lineup for the Nintendo Switch, specifically Rocket League?
I didn't really pay attention to the third party lineup, but it looks all right in my opinion.
Yeah, it looks alright. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Like I said, I mean, I never played Rocket League or anything, but I know a lot of people are fans of that. Also, I do like I guess I'll say it now, but I do like the idea of the crossplay between Microsoft and the Nintendo Switch, despite Sony says they're not doing it.
I mean, I was kind of hoping that Capcom would come out and announce a Resident Evil 7 port for the Switch, but that never happened. So
yeah, I mean, it could happen next year. You never know.
Yeah, it could happen next year.
Next E3.
Yeah, good.
Or they might, who knows? They might port the other games, Resident Evil games, to the Switch.
like another port of Resident Evil 4 out of all the 60,000 that they already have.
Yeah,
just do the
HD versions of 1 through 6 ported to the Switch.
Like there's literally an iPhone, or no, not just iPhone, mobile version of Resident Evil.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, for people who can, for people who are non-gamers that don't have consoles or a really good PC, can play it on their phones.
Hey, let's not get on that.
You didn't mute your microphone when you sneezed, so that's going to be on the internet forever.
Oh god! Here it goes. It just came to be. But yeah, well, the crossplay between Rocket League and between Microsoft and Nintendo Switch is pretty cool, though. Despite Sony's not doing that, which is good, Sony.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the only reason they're in business is because PlayStation.
Yeah.
I know one thing. I think one of the people of I know, speaking of this later, we'll probably talk about this later in the Microsoft conference and all that. But I know one thing that one of the PS4. I don't know if one of the higher up people for PS or PlayStation or Sony said that no one plays backwards compatible, and it doesn't make sense to put backwards compatible. So I just kind of fun. I just really, that's kind of funny.
Well, let's save that for the Microsoft questions because that's kind of a big subject.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I just was quick mentioning it. That's all really. We were talking about Sony and all that. With Rocket League and not having Sony.
We're talking about third party and Nintendo. So.
Well, I know that, but I was saying that I was just mentioning that how Sony doesn't, do the crossplay, and I was mentioning something else that Sony doesn't do either.
Yeah.
Which I mean, doesn't really hurt them that much not having it, which I'm fine with them not having it. But let's talk about that later on, though. Yeah, it's probably better when we get to Microsoft.
Yeah.
All right. What was that? I think it cut out.
What are your thoughts, James?
Okay. Yeah, Rocket League being on the Switch is really cool, especially the cross-network play. I really hope, and I'm sure we'll probably maybe discuss it more during the Nintendo portion, but I really hope, especially after the Wii U third-party support being not there at all, that the Switch's third-party support will continue to grow and expand. I think Rocket League is a good step to continue that, especially with the addition of cross-network play. And something to note is also Minecraft is also cross-network. I think coming later this year, August or September, I think, was announced during the Microsoft conference. So it's pretty cool that Microsoft and Nintendo and even PC are going to continue doing crossplay stuff for 2 games now. And yes, so the Sony president was asked about that, about why Rocket League at least wasn't cross-network. And I believe that during the interview, the Sony president was even asked about the Minecraft one too, where the Sony president was like, "Oh, well, we're discussing it, but we just don't think it'll work out." Something along those lines, and that really sucks for Sony fans. It really, really sucks. It really sucks. It's really stupid that Sony doesn't really want to play ball, so to speak, when it comes to the cross-network thing, because if the better the companies can be, like cordial and allow people across their networks to play together, it just gives better business. So hopefully Sony wisens up. Hopefully they will wisen up. But yeah, Rocket League's pretty cool, especially with the exclusive stuff that's going to be on the Switch version, which I don't know how they're going to handle that on cross-network lobby stuff, but I guess we'll see eventually.
I nearly jumped out of my chair from excitement when I saw the Mario hat on the Rocket League car. I think Rocket League on the Switch is a huge deal because this is an online multiplayer game, and Nintendo isn't really known for that. So having this game on the Switch and having it be making it so that you can play against Xbox One players, that is a huge deal. So people need to buy this game for Nintendo's third-party support for the Switch to be successful. And I think going back to the crossplay thing, I think it's awesome that that's going to be available for Minecraft as well, because Minecraft is owned by Microsoft. Not only was it available for the Wii U and the Switch and PlayStation systems, they're making it compatible they're making cross-network compatibility available for the Switch and Xbox and Microsoft. So I think that is amazing, and I find it kind of funny that now Sony is the one who's lacking the biggest feature in their version of the game.
Yeah.
And I think Sony's making a huge mistake not allowing cross-network play on their versions, because all they're really doing is just alienating themselves and making it so that only their customers can play with each other. Because I have friends who are on the PlayStation 4 and have that version of Rocket League, and I would love to be able to play with them, but I won't be able to because they have the PS4 version. Yeah. So they'd either have to get the PC or the Switch version to be able to play with me.
Yeah, or the Xbox version if they decide to get an Xbox.
They've sworn off Xbox forever.
Yeah, I guess PC Switch then. Yeah. With that Sony's kind of pulling an Apple right here.
I gotta say one thing about Sony, and they're not doing what Nintendo's doing. They're probably gonna fall out of the console market in the next couple of years. If that happens, Sony's gonna just go bankrupt. I think, unless one of those unless one of the other divisions of Sony or that just raises up. But right now, if PlayStation doesn't do well, or if they go down somehow or whatever and decide to quit, Sony's probably gonna go down even more than it is now.
Yeah, people said the same thing about Nintendo when the Wii U wasn't doing so well.
But the thing is, Nintendo is a lot more financially better than Sony is, though.
Yeah, that is true.
So that's part of it. And plus you got the Wii, for example, that sold so much that even with just one failure, they can come back.
Like when it came to money, they made smarter decisions.
Now you have the Switch, which is on track to outsell the Wii.
Yeah, that could possibly be outsell the Wii. It could outsell the PS2. Who knows?
That would be the day I will literally break out a bottle of champagne if a Nintendo.
If the Switch outsold the PS2.
The PS2. I will break out a bottle of champagne and drink it live on YouTube.
And Twitch.
Switch. If the Nintendo Switch outsells the PS2.
Yeah, that would put you into it to see if that actually does happen.
Okay, I'm being sincere. I will drink a bottle of champagne live.
What happens if it's other consoles that outsold the PS2? Like, would you still do champagne?
The Switch is awesome.
Yeah.
Then I won't do anything if other consoles outsell the PS2. Only if the Switch.
Yeah, I know there are people that are saying that they think if the PS4 lasts as long as the PS2, the PS4 could outsell the PS2, but I don't think that's gonna happen. It could. Like I mean, I heard if it lasts as long as PS2, and does as well do really well for a very long time. Like I know people are saying that it might surpass the PS4 might surpass the PS2, but it'd be great if the Switch surpasses the PS2 instead.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, Nintendo. The DS almost made that. The DS was close, but the Switch needs to.
Yeah.
The DS didn't quite make it, but it's up there as number 2.
Of course, the DS doesn't really count since that's a handheld, not a console.
Still, I don't care. Even if it's not a console, it's still almost got close to selling out the PS2.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I guess I would say video game system, not just consoles. But
anyway, back to E3.
We were on E3. We never left E3.
Like he might left, but we haven't.
You were literally 1 minute ago just talking about which console has sold the best. That's nothing to do with E3.
It could have someday. No. Boom, I just
Yep.
Yeah, we still have a lot of questions to go through, so we should probably
Yeah.
keep this moving.
Yeah.
Alright, the next question. What do you think of the Xbox One X as well as Microsoft's conference in general?
Can I go first?
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Reminder to future later Gator to you. This is the point where you start censoring.
No, I made a promise, and I'm going to stick to it. The Xbox One X. Really not that excited. I mean, the Xbox One S just came out not even a year ago. And you're already releasing another version of the Xbox One. Why not just make a new console? Okay, that would make more sense. It would make more sense to release a new console. That's just what I have to say about that. Microsoft E3 in general. It failed to impress me. It didn't even impress me the slightest. Like, everything they showed. Even the game. Like, they showed off a game that, like, made me think it was going to be the Return of Conquer, but it wasn't. It was just another character, which just really made me angry. But all the stuff they showed, none of it impressed me. I was very disappointed. I was hoping other companies would do better, but I'm going to just stick my opinions to Microsoft right now. Microsoft, you failed in impressing me, and I was really hoping that you would impress me and get me to, get excited and buy an Xbox One, because I really want to have a high opinion of you, Microsoft. I really do, but you just made it really hard for me. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, now it's my turn. Well, I thought the conference was pretty good.
Turn.
I thought the conference was pretty good. Well, the thing with me is, like, I knew what the Xbox One. Well, I didn't know what was gonna. I didn't know because at first it was called Project Scorpio, which I kind of knew what it was going to be, just didn't know what it was going to be called, and maybe some of the specs and all that I did not know what's going to like. But I knew it was just going to be a 4K Xbox One. Like, there were people saying it's going to be a next gen console. Like, it's just a 4K Xbox One. Like, seriously, like, because I seen people comment like, but they're like, there's no point of game. Like, there's people calling that. Oh, I had to getting. It was talking about how getting a console after like a new console after 3 years. Like, I'm saying it's not a new console. It's just a 4K Xbox One that plays in 4K and everything. Because to me, Xbox One X is for those people that are like really, like just up there, like pretty much really care about graphics and all that, but want to play on console and everything. And also, you don't have an Xbox One at all. So, like, for me, it's for the Xbox One X is for people who don't have Xbox One, or for people who want, like, who wants a good, really good, powerful console. and everything that's in 4K. But they're like I seen people saying, but like look at this Xbox releasing a new console and it's a new console, but not a new generation of console. Like it's not like how the Switch is a new generation of console, like the Wii U or the Switch to the Wii or the Wii U to the Wii. It's still an Xbox One, but just in 4K. Like like I said, there's no point of getting it if you already have Xbox One, unless you just really want to because you really care about graphics and everything and all that. So it was just I think it's just a concept that was overhyped. Like that a lot of people think, oh my god, this is gonna be awesome. They're gonna be like, blah, blah, blah. Like you do realize it's just a 4K console, right? That's still Xbox One. Like, and I also disagree with the idea, like, because they have done different models and different stuff in the past, like what they did with with the 360 and PlayStation have done models of different ones in the past, like with they have the PS3 Slim, and then they have the Super Slim on PS3, and then there's like 360. The 360 had the original model, and then they had an Elite model, and then they had a model that come with the Kinect and everything. So like it's like that to me, but like. I mean, they pushed a little more, like they did more stuff to it than just a new model or maybe a little more powerful. But because that's adding 4K, but still, like I said, the only reason I would get it if I don't have the Xbox One and I really care about graphics, and 3 if I had a 4K TV and everything and 4K or 4K monitor. Anyway, so, but yeah, like, and the name, I see people saying that they don't like the names, like. I mean, I'm fine with the name. I don't care. Like, okay, Xbox One X. I thought that was a fine name. Like, okay, but I know one thing I did like about how they announced original Xbox game, because the thing is, I mean, a console doesn't you don't have to have backwards compatible, but I like having backwards compatible just because for people. Well, the thing with backwards compatible, I like it just because for people like who did not have say if you're like a PlayStation gamer, say if you owned a PS3, but then decide to go to an Xbox One for the next generation, and that means you could play 360 games and now original Xbox, even though it's not going to be that many original Xbox games, but at least you get some. That for people who never played the exclusives that are on 360 and the original. Before, they weren't, so it's like the first time, which is another reason why I like backwards compatibility for people who did not own the 360 or original Xbox. Well, I mean, there are still people that still get the backward compatible games for the new system despite still owning a 360 or original Xbox, but it introduces people to 360 games or original Xbox games that were exclusive to those consoles that were not multi-platform and all that, and I just like the idea of backwards compatible. I mean, I know with Sony, I know Sony doesn't have backwards compatible, but I'm fine with not having. I mean, like I said, I prefer them having backwards compatible, but I'm fine with not having backwards compatible. Because the thing is, the reason I kind of get a system is if I want to play the games and all that. I think the reason some people go to Xbox over PlayStation is because of the backwards compatible. I think part of it so they can play games on 360. And now, like I said, original Xbox, so they don't have to get the original Xbox, or so they don't have to get the 360 and all that. They just can get an Xbox One or anything. And also I know the Play Anywhere thing. I've seen people talking about how there's no point in getting an Xbox One because you just can play them on PC. Well, the thing is, there's people who preferred playing on console anyway and everything, and prefer Xbox over PlayStation or prefer over Nintendo and all, or Microsoft. They prefer Microsoft and Nintendo and Sony and all that, but they're not PC games at all. I don't play on console and all that. So and it's nice to play, with people. It's nice to play it on both PC and Xbox. And there's people that don't have Windows computers. They have maybe Apple computers or Linux or something like that. Just different computers that they can't play the games on PC maybe too. So for those people you play on Xbox and all that, which is and everything. But yeah, I think the best part about Xbox or Microsoft's is the Microsoft. Like there, and also the thing with because I know they had like pretty much all the games, or the majority of the games at least, were pretty much third party games and all that, which I'm excited. Like some of the games I've seen look pretty interesting, exciting, might try out and everything and stuff like that. But like there's people that are saying like there's no point of getting an Xbox or like that Microsoft conference sucks because they just show third party. Like I don't care if they show third party games like there's people that say that Microsoft will lose because they just show third party games. Like you do realize like it's not just about third party games. Like I mean or exclusives or anything. It's about like just the whole conference as a whole. Like even like saying if like a game showed off at like say a third party game shown at Microsoft's but not Sony's. Like, but like they don't count the third party game because it's a third party game and it's not a exclusive or anything, and they don't, and because I see people only count exclusives, but that makes it complicated, which is like just some excuse or whatever. And I think part of that's just being them fanboys too, being PlayStation fanboys or even PC fanboys or whatever. Which I mean, I'm not really a Microsoft fanboy or an Xbox fanboy at all because I play on Nintendo. I play on older Sony like PS2 and PS3, but I do also play on Xbox and all that. But because I'm just a gamer, I'm not a I'm not a PC gamer at all, but I'm not a Xbox fanboy or a PlayStation fanboy or a Nintendo fanboy. I'm more of just a gamer that just plays games for fun and everything. Wants to get games that are fun and enjoyable and all that and everything. And just I mean it's just I mean I know it's just preference, but like there are people that just hate on just hate on other people just because they get that. Like you do realize it's opinions and all and preference of what they like and everything too, or what they can and everything. So, but yeah, but like I said, there were some games that looked exciting. Like that's like quite a bit of them looked exciting that I might try out and get for my Xbox One and all that, or who knows, maybe Switch if they put them on the Switch and all that. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much my opinions about the conference. But I thought it was pretty good. Like I thought it was better than Bethesda's and EA's and better than Sony's, but I don't think it's as good as it's definitely not as good as Nintendo's, and probably not as good as Ubisoft either. I've been going back and forth between Ubisoft and Microsoft, which was better, but I know Nintendo definitely won E3, just hands down there. By the way, but anyway, go you guys. I guess the people who haven't talked yet about Microsoft, go ahead now and talk.
Can I ask you a question first?
Yeah.
Did you breathe at all during that? Because I swear I've never.
I was going to ask the same thing.
What? Wait, what?
God!
You talked so fast during that. I've never heard you talk so fast.
Wait, how long was I? How long was I gone? I just went to go grab a piece of cake.
yeah. I think part of this is me writing about people complaining about how
I can't breathe.
like if you listen to the video and all that my thing. Yeah.
I literally. How long was I gone? Was he talking?
You were gone for about 8 minutes, and that entire time, all he did was not breathe while speaking.
8 minutes.
I mean, I breathe. That was pretty good.
Oh, that was great.
Maybe I could. I guess a good speech. I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
God, you could run for president like that. Jeez.
All hail President Cobra.
You know, I'm not really a good speaker or anything, and not really good talker, but still. Yeah, that's kind of funny. I guess Pancake was gone the whole time talking. That's funny.
He was literally gone the entire time you were speaking.
And then I get done and Pancake just bad. That's funny.
But before recording this discussion, we talked about how you would probably go on a huge rant and Pancake could do what he needed to do while you were gone and miss literally nothing. And truth be told, there it was.
I mean, I did go on a little rant about
a little.
fanboys and all. Well, I guess little as in little for me.
I hate to see what a big rant for you is then. Jesus.
I'm kidding.
Ah,
But anyway, you guys can talk about now. I'll be
How
quiet.
long has this recording been going on for exactly?
About 47 minutes.
Not
Oh,
even
dear God. We're not even a third of the way through the questions. Oh my god.
Okay, can we continue? Please. I'm scared. Why did I join this?
So, yeah, the Microsoft conference. The big hitter of their conference was the reveal of Project Scorpio being the Xbox One X, or if you were to abbreviate that for, like, Let's Plays, it would be the XOX, which I find hilarious. But it's coming out on November 7th, and it will be $499, which, I don't know there, Microsoft. You might, $399 I think would have been alright, but $499 for a system that you really aren't required to have a 4K TV for? Kind of steep, because they did mention in there, I think it was after the Forza reveal, that you don't necessarily need a 4K TV, it's just you have the better experience with it. The cool thing about it, it's basically, the Xbox One X is basically a computer, just put in a game console, which usually that's how their Xbox consoles are. But, yeah, so it'll basically downsample from 4K to whatever your TV or monitor is. So, for example, most people have 720p or 1080p, and that's what it's going to sample it back down to that if you don't have 4K, which is a really cool feature, and that gets a plus from me. But yeah, other than that, they did announce a couple of games. Also, another big hit before I get to that is the backwards compatibility with original Xbox games being announced for that. And a lot of them are being enhanced for Xbox One X as well, so that'll be cool. But just to quickly run down from a couple things they announced: Forza, which I already mentioned, Forza Motorsport 7, Metro Exodus, Assassin's Creed Origins had a little bit of time. Then they talked about a game called Deep Rock Galactic, which is apparently like a first-person Starship Troopers, which is kind of cool. A Battlegrounds game, State of Decay 2, which is coming next year. We've already talked about this before during the little crossplay thing with Rocket League, but Minecraft, about that being crossplay. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, a new Dragon Ball fighting game. A game called The Darwin Project. A game called Black Desert. A game called The Last Night, which I think looks really good. The Artful Escape, which also looks a little good. An anime game called Code Vein, Tacoma, which didn't get any time at all. It got maybe 30 seconds of time. And my puppy is playing with things in the background, so ignore me. Ignore the background. Cuphead, again, being at E3, coming out later this year, so that's cool. They had a montage of the independent developer games for Xbox One X. And then we had a thing about Dark Souls, a prequel to Life is Strange coming out, which is pretty cool. Pancake already mentioned this before, but the Conquer-esque game, which I also was disappointed that it wasn't Conquer. Super Lucky's Tale, which is apparently based on, apparently this character had a VR game at one point, I found out. So that's pretty cool that it's getting a console game. It's not Conquer, though, so I really don't care. It looks nice, but, I don't really care. Another game I really don't care about, Sea of Thieves, because Rare, being the shell of their former selves, I could care less. That game's been in development hell for, 4 years now. Crackdown 3 with Terry Crews, because Terry Crews sells games. Then you have Shadow of War. We got to look at a sequel to Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which looks amazing. And then they closed the show with BioWare's new game, Anthem. So basically, I really don't see a need to get Xbox One X, especially with the price, and you're not required to have a 4K TV, especially because, half the things they announced are also going to be on Windows 10 anyway, so, there's really no need for it, because, the games I'm interested in, I can look at this really quick. Cuphead is on Windows 10. I believe Super Lucky's Tale is on Windows 10. Yeah, and so is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So, like, even the things that I'm kind of interested in, like, there's no point in getting an Xbox One X or even an Xbox One, because they're going to be on Windows anyway. So that's basically my little rundown of the Microsoft Xbox conference. And now I need to stop my puppy from playing with things in the background. Someone take over for me!
I'll take over.
You don't need another 8 minutes, GreenCobrasGaming.
I'm just gonna say about the games. That's all. I'm not gonna say anything about anything else I already mentioned.
Okay, you take over.
Well, like I said, some of those games I'm looking forward to. I know the Super Lucky's Tale looks kind of interesting, as in like being a 3D. I think it's. Well, I know it's a platform. I think it was a 3D platform, which looks interesting and everything. Like 3D platforms are fun games, and there's not that many of them nowadays. I mean, there are some, but there are not that many as there used to be. At least, even though there are some, but they're not as used to be. And some of them are not as good as they used to be either. So, but also Anthem looks. Well, I mean, we didn't really see anything that much about Anthem. We saw a little bit, and only really because the only reason I'm really kind of saying something about that is just because it's BioWare, and BioWare's pretty popular with some and pretty fun with the series, and because they famous for the Mass Effect and Dragon Age, those two games, and also I guess the back in the day with the Old Republic, which I never played, or Knights of the Old Republic, not Old Republic, Knights of the Old, which are they all do? I guess they do the Old Republic, but we don't have played either of those, so but Anthem looks alright, I guess. We don't know that much about it that much, but said also the Shadow War, which is like the sequel to Shadow Mord, or the kind of the Lord of the Rings franchise or series or whatever. It's just the same. I guess same universe. I guess because I did enjoy a little bit of Shadow of Mordor on the. I played a little bit. Pretty fun. It's not the most I'm looking forward to, but it looks interesting. And also the thing with Sea of Thieves, well, I know Rare hasn't really been good since the Nintendo days, but I might just try it out to see if it's actually good or fun and all that, because it looks pretty interesting, despite it being, Rare, or 2 days Rare, at least, but yeah. And maybe a few other third-party games and everything. Not interested in Forza, because I don't really care for Forza that much, especially the non-open world ones. Because I played the second Forza Horizon one, which is like the big open world Forza before, which I think was the one where when the Xbox One had been out like the first one that came out for the Xbox One or whatever, of the Horizon 2, but that's not really interested into that. Plus, it's a alright game, I guess. The Horizon 2, I guess, but and that's pretty. Oh, and I guess that's pretty much it. I was about to talk about a different game, but I'm gonna wait until that later for a different conference. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it of the games.
All right, so going back to the abbreviation thing, when James mentioned how Xbox One X could be abbreviated to XOX,
yeah.
I also thought that it could also be abbreviated as XBOX for Xbox.
Nice.
I don't have a 4K TV, but I'm happy that they do have the option to downscale it to 1080p.
Yeah.
The only game that they demonstrated that I could really see myself playing in 4K was Anthem, because that forest would look really great in 4K. There's no denying that. But that's not really a type of game that I'd play. There weren't really too many games at the conference themselves that looked all that interesting. Sea of Thieves, it looks interesting, kind of. But something funny about that was that when I saw them blasting themselves out of the cannons, the first thing I thought was, these pirates on Xbox One are launching themselves out of cannons onto other pirate ships. That's cute. Mario shot himself out of a cannon onto the moon on the GameCube. So yeah, there aren't really a whole lot of games from Microsoft that interested me. I kind of find it funny that they used the Forza's announcement to announce a new car. That's kind of interesting. And then the people who were announcing that game said, "You people did this." Like he was pointing out the fact that how popular that series made it possible for them to announce a new car at a gaming convention.
What? Mario Kart's better.
Yes, Mario Kart is 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
But going back to the Xbox One X for a moment there, one thing that I find really impressive about it is not necessarily the fact that it is a 4K system. I'm impressed that it's the smallest Xbox system that they've ever made. That is impressive.
Yeah.
The last thing that's really worth mentioning is the backwards compatibility. That was like the highlight of the conference for me because I grew up on the original Xbox, and seeing that original Xbox opening, such nostalgia. Such awesome.
Yeah, even though I never owned the original Xbox, but I definitely remember the startup screen because I had friends who owned the original Xbox, and I go to the house all the time, especially when playing them like the original Halo or Halo 2 and all that. Which also one thing, I'm surprised they didn't show anything related to Halo at the conference, which was surprising. That's one thing I'd like to add. That
was weird.
They didn't show anything Halo related, which I thought that was interesting, despite being a main big Microsoft game and all that, or series or whatever. Even if even if they didn't show off a new game, I'm surprised we didn't even say anything Halo related at all.
Is that everything you guys want to say about Microsoft?
Yep.
All right, let's move on to Sony and see how long did it take to go over this.
5 minutes later,
on Sony's conference?
Disappointing as a lot.
All right. So
great way to word that.
I'm gonna say something about Sony.
Okay.
Sony, just stop. Okay. Just stop. Disappointment, and you're a failure right now. You're a bankrupt company. Just go back to making DVD players. It's way better for you now.
DVD
Wow.
players. Yeah.
Triggered.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all I wanted to say about Sony. Sony's E3.
Okay.
Just stop. Spare us.
And now that you warmed up, Pancake, tell us how you really feel.
I can't swear because I made a promise. Screw you, James.
Fine, I'll do it for you. Fine, I'll do it for you. Fun. Not.
All right,
But
Brandon, your turn to do like a 20-minute rant.
Probably not. Probably not gonna be that long. I doubt it, because thing with Sony is that compared to Microsoft is I actually enjoyed Microsoft conference. Sony I was so disappointed. I mean, I like some of the stuff they showed, but I like some of the games or some of the stuff they showed was so disappointing though. To me, Sony's was so disappointing. I was watching and then when it got to the end, it's that's it. That's all they showed. What? Why can't we just see more? I mean, some of the stuff I can see why they didn't show. Okay, when there's some types that we talked in the past about. It'd be awesome if they showed this and this, but some of the stuff I can see not showing that and not doing that. But some of the stuff that they announced last year, or some of the stuff they announced within that last year, or that we know, or games that we know about, weren't even shown at Sony's conference. We weren't shown anything about we weren't shown anything about the Last of Us 2. We didn't, which I thought would be at E3 this year. Which I mean, we haven't really played that much of the original one, but that thing was disappointing because not showing that. Even though they did show off the Uncharted spin-off game or whatever, which showed a little bit of that. They didn't show off, they didn't show off the. What I was gonna say, they didn't show off anything about Sucker Punch didn't show any game, despite because the last game was Infamous Second Son, and then the DLC for Infamous, I guess, some First Light or whatever. Which I'm surprised which I thought they would come because they haven't released a game in quite some time, like three or 4 years even. I think it was 3 years since Infamous Second Son came out. Because I thought they would probably come and show a new game or heck, a new IP even, but no, we didn't see anything from Sucker Punch. We didn't see anything. Well, I mean, I did see later on that night after the Sony conference that there was a Crash trailer, like of the trilogy, but like they didn't show anything about Crash besides of course that Crash was not during the conference, so they didn't what else? Also, I know a lot of people were expecting this, even though I don't like. You can't really expect it that much. Like I know some people probably the reason a lot of people wanted. Well, it's more like a lot of people wanted it, not really expecting it. They wanted this is the Spyro trilogy remastered thing, like which would be really cool if they did that. Which would probably have made Sony quite a bit better conference and all that if they showed like of the games I mentioned or already that weren't there or stuff. Obviously, they didn't show anything about Kingdom Hearts or Final Fantasy VII Remake at all. Because plus, I mean, I think that was fine because they, like I said, they didn't show anything like in the 2016 conference of the previous year. They didn't show Final Fantasy VII Remake or Kingdom Hearts 3 at all either at that conference either. So I mean, it's not as disappointing, I guess, because of that. But and also one thing I'd like to mention that of all the games that they showed at E3 2016, the majority of them were games that they announced or shown from the previous year. That's the thing. Like really, I mean, we always saw God of War, we always saw Spider-Man from last year, which I understand. I understand they go like I was fine with them having that, but like of those, like mainly those two games that those two were pretty much big games of that series was the God of War and the Insomniac Spider game. What's the Insomniac Spider game looked really cool and interesting. Which if I do ever get a PS4, I'll go ahead and buy that game. Even though I'm not going to get a PS4, but if I do ever get a PS4, I'll go get that game, the new Spider-Man, the Insomniac Spider game, because that looks really cool and all that. Well, I'm not really looking forward to Dad of War at all that much. but also what else? Like, also one thing I thought was strange is when they showed that a fishing, like a Final Fantasy 15 fishing game, which I thought, oh, okay, why I don't know. But one thing,
what was up with that?
Yeah, I know, like Final Fantasy 15 fishing. Also, nothing. Oh, like. But one thing I did like that they showed was they're having like a remake of Shadow of the Colossus. So, I mean, it's one of the like, which I mean I'm not gonna get because I don't have a PS4, but like that's really neat and nice to have a remake of Shadow of the Colossus because a lot of people refer it as like one of the best PS2 games, if even the best game ever. A lot of people do of Shadow of the Colossus and all that, Which I guess also when I show that, like, which kind of made sense of why, at least to me, why I made The Last Guardian took a little longer, because they were working on the remake of Shadow of the Colossus for the PS4. Because I know a lot of people are saying this is probably just a remaster, but no, it's a remake. Like, I knew when I first saw it, at first I thought it was a sequel just because of like how good it looked. At first I thought, like, when my first reaction was I thought it was going to be a sequel or something like that, but then I heard it's a remake of the original. So plus especially when they showed the title Shadow of the Colossus, so it's a remake. Which is nice.
Is that being built from the ground up, or are they reusing old assets?
I think it's ground up. I think it's a ground up thing. It's not a remastered, it's a remake.
All right.
Yeah, it's a full blown remake, not a remastered. Which a lot of people thought it's probably going to be a remastered, but it's been confirmed it's actually a remake, I believe. And everything. And also, it's also like to mention with Sony how, also like I mentioned earlier with how, Sony's not doing the backwards compatible thing because, they said backwards compatible doesn't sell at all and doesn't do good or anything, which is just crap. But yes, it does. It does. Like, there's people that buy that and everything. Even though I don't really care that much if PS4 has backwards compatible because I have a PS3 anyway and I don't have a PS4, so. but that's no excuse. Like that's not an excuse of not having it. Even though I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if they have it or not. Like because Nintendo doesn't have the backwards compatible with Switch at all. So anyway, but yeah, it was really Sony's just I think was one of the worst. Well, I think one of the worst just because just how disappointing it was, and they could have done so much more. That just like wow, and it was really short too. Like because like they went over or Data War, and the Spider-Man game like. They showed a lot of that, and was like those two like the main focus, which I think they should have shown a lot less of that and more, and maybe show other games or other games that already been announced or announced a bunch of new games. Because the thing is that I suppose at Sony, they barely announced any new games. If that's the thing about Sony is that's why I think it's one of the like worst or if not the worst. Well, I don't think it's the worst, but one of the worst. Because I think they did better than EA, and Bethesda better than Bethesda's, but like third to last place in my opinion of all the different conferences that they of the 6 different conferences or whatever. But yeah, that's just really disappointing.
I think the problem with Sony right now is that they have the same problem Nintendo had for the past 2 E3s, where they didn't really solve a lot of new stuff because they really just don't have anything new to show.
Yeah, that might have been the problem. They didn't have anything new to show, but like, I kind of wish that they showed, other games that were announced that weren't shown there at all. Though I wish they show like The Last of Us 2 or other games that were announced the previous year or even years before that weren't shown there. Even though a lot of them were shown there, but like that were originally already announced or shown last year. But just wish they just had quite more. Also with Pancake earlier about how he was saying that Sony just should go back to the. I don't really think that just because one with Sony is that like the only thing that Sony has right now, like the reason they're only surviving is because PlayStation all that, and just because PlayStation sells so well, and a lot of people like PlayStation and their exclusives on that. Because that's what a lot of people argue against, Microsoft and everything, because Sony has exclusives while Microsoft really doesn't have the exclusives anymore, especially with the Play to Now. Which I mean, I do like the Play Anywhere program though. That's pretty neat though. Well, a lot of people went on that because they don't have talk about how they don't have any like Xbox doesn't have any exclusives and all that. But I mean, they have some exclusives, but not many. The PlayStation has quite a bit more, which is pretty nice for people who are PlayStation fans and all that. Which I think they just could. Like if PlayStation goes down, I think they're just gonna Sony goes down or could maybe make big up. Because with got like I said mentioned with Nintendo, you got how they had the Wii and the DS and all that did so well, and the Switch is most likely going to sell really well too, which is it already is selling really well. Just that because with Nintendo they they're like you can't. It's kind of hard to get a Switch because of so many people want one. And then you got Microsoft, which is even if Xbox dies, Microsoft won't go bankrupt just because Microsoft has the whole PC market thing with them and everything. And to be fair, if one of them, if any other 3 gaming companies goes down, like if they lose, I think Microsoft would still be in business and won't. I mean, it would hurt Microsoft quite a bit, but I think of the 3, Microsoft has the less likely to go bankrupt of the 3, and Sony has the most likely going to go bankrupt because Sony's not doing financially pretty bad if you don't count the gaming part of Sony.
I think Sony also has the most to lose right now because if they do, because the PlayStation does go bankrupt. Now their other divisions aren't really doing that well, like the animation and stuff like that. Those are not going to last without PlayStation, so they're probably really screwed without that. Microsoft, like you said, they have the PC, so they'll be fine even if Xbox goes away. And Nintendo has proven in the past to be able to adapt to other business models if one goes away. Like they used to make trading cards before they made video games.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. But the thing is, with Nintendo, that was before they went to the game market, though. So, of course, like I said, Nintendo has, older systems like, the Wii and DS, and they also have the 3DS, which because they're still supporting the 3DS, so, and everything. But you have also past systems that sold really well, so that probably helped them stay in business. If something does go bad.
All right, what about you, James?
All right, so like the Microsoft one, I'm gonna quickly run down other things that were announced. Brandon did touch on a couple things, but I just want to go through them just generally to line them up. And again, I apologize if I get a little distracted, because I do have my restless puppy in my room now, so he might go a little crazy, but I'm going to try to not make him go insane. Anyway, so they started out with a look at Uncharted Lost Legacy, which was, I think, at the last 2 E3s, maybe just last year, but yeah, it's coming out this August, apparently, so that's cool. New Uncharted, because I don't think they'll ever do another main series one, but you never know. Then they went and shown off an expansion, a winter expansion, called The Frozen Wilds for Horizon Zero Dawn. So that's cool that game's gonna continue on. Then they showed off Days Gone, which I didn't actually recognize at first. I thought it was a whole different game. Then they showed off a couple things pretty noteworthy. Shadow of the Colossus remake for PS4, which I guess is like their apparent "we're sorry" love letter for the HD version that came out on PS3, along with Ico. So I think it is being built from the ground up, so it's good that Shadow of the Colossus fans are getting something new for them, even though it's an old title at this point. Monster Hunter World was revealed for 2018, so that's pretty cool. Apparently it's also coming to PC at a later date, but Monster Hunter World was pretty nice. Call of Duty World War II, they showed off multiplayer stuff, which is cool. Comes out in November. You've already mentioned the Final Fantasy 15 fishing VR game, which is pretty funny. I'm still waiting for Big the Cat's Fishing Adventure 3. Then they showed off, as Brandon put it, which I love because I used this also during my reactions to each conference, Dad of War. Dad of War is another year for Dad of War being shown off. It's apparently coming early next year, so it's nice to see more of that. Their game called Detroit, which is about robots, that looked pretty cool. And Spider-Man, because who doesn't love Spider-Man? Insomniac does it again. Spider-Man looks great, and hopefully the teaser at the end showing off Miles Morales is that's going to be our Spider-Man that they're basing it off of, so it'll be cool to see Miles Morales be the star instead of Peter Parker, or any of the other, 2 other Spider-Men that are in the comics, so that'll be cool. But yeah, I really liked the Sony. I liked the Sony conference, but it was lacking things like Last of Us 2. They apparently did show off the Crash Insane trilogy thing during their hour pre-show before the actual conference. I think that was one of the first things they showed off, actually. So disappointing that they didn't have Last of Us 2, but they still had a fairly solid lineup. But yeah, I really enjoyed what we saw at Sony, and that's really all I can really say about it. Just, they did all right. They did all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought it was just boring in my opinion.
There weren't very many games from the conference that excited me. I think Shadow of the Colossus, the remake for that, was the biggest new thing that made me happy. Really, for fishing? Why fishing for Final Fantasy 15? Why was that not a mini game in the full game? Why is it separate? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, Besides that, that Detroit game looked pretty cool because I love choice and consequence games like Epic Mickey and Undertale and stuff like that. But other than that, while they didn't really demonstrate a whole lot of new stuff, I will say that the format of the conference itself was pretty cool. How they had the guy come out on stage like only a few times, and then they just let people watch trailer after trailer after trailer. That was really cool, and I hope Nintendo does something like that because
cool.
that would be really cool. And I really liked how they did like the fire effects and the screen movings during the conference. But other than those kind of weird gimmicks, there's really nothing about the conference itself that was interesting to me.
And also, the Detroit Become Human game looks pretty cool and interesting. That I'd give you that game that does look pretty interesting and could be an enjoyable game. And also, like I mentioned from the Microsoft conference that I kind of missed earlier, that I just remembered, just popped in my head right now. That the Life is Strange prequel. That looks interesting. I like the original Life is Strange, but anyway, let's continue.
Something I noticed is that whenever we give our thoughts, for these questions, Pancake goes on a bit of a rant. GreenCobrasGaming talks for about an eternity. James releases a bunch of bullet points, and then I talk about who God knows what.
And then I go talk about more games because the bullet points.
Yeah.
That I missed. Because I just talk about what I thought that just comes right in my mind right then, really. Or just what I remember or just thought of that I could think of.
All right, so my next question is, what are your thoughts on Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle and Beyond Good and Evil 2?
So I guess we're starting Ubisofts now.
Yep. Save your opinions on other Ubisoft games until the next question.
So you're saying, what was the question? You said Mario plus Rabbids and what?
And Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Well,
I just need to ask a question real quick. When Beyond Good and Evil 2 was announced, what consoles was it announced for? I didn't pay attention to that.
They haven't said yet.
Yeah, it was just an announcement trailer. They didn't mention any consoles.
I'm hoping that Beyond Good and Evil 2 gets released
Switch.
Nintendo Switch, and I hope it's multi-platform.
Yeah.
My opinion on the Rabbids game, it actually looks really, really good, and I was actually surprised by how good it looks. Like, I thought it was just going to be a dumb, stupid looking game with Mario characters painted all over it, but it just was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
That's really all I have to say about that. It's amazing.
Yeah. One thing, like the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle thing, that game looked pretty. Like, I wasn't expecting it being that. Like, can you think Mario and Rabbids? Like, why and what? Okay, that's odd. Wasn't expecting that or something like that. But I mean, I guess people who knew about the game just didn't know anything that much about which. And also the starting of it with Mario and Rabbids and like the start of the conference was pretty cool with having even Miyamoto being even there and talking about the game and all that that's pretty cool and all that.
That was really awesome. Seeing Miyamoto and the Ubisoft guy on stage together.
Yeah, the Ubisoft guy or whatever. That was pretty cool. Like, and then ending the conference off with Beyond and Good Evil 2. I was like, oh my god! And like I said, when I was watching it, I had no idea it was gonna be Beyond Good Evil 2. Like, if I knew it was gonna be Beyond Good Evil 2, I probably would have straight off mentioned how the TheJamesRolls with that one time about how like when they showed Skyrim.
Oh, here we go.
And then but when he thought it was Beyond Good Evil 2, but that's just Skyrim that one time, that one discussion or thing that he did, or reactions to that Nintendo Direct thing.
Yeah, when it was going to get to my turn, I was going to say, James, this is what Beyond Good and Evil 2 looks like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the funny thing is that like I probably would have him said that or like or mentioned it in my live reactions or whatever. Well, I think I did mention my live reaction, but that was after I figured out what it was, what the title was. Like, because I didn't know at first it would be on Good Evil 2 until they pretty much showed the title pretty much. Like, the kid, but yeah, having that's pretty exciting for people. I never played the original Beyond Good and Evil game, but that game looks pretty into it. Like, it's Beyond Good and Evil 2. Come on, like really, yeah. So yeah, and the Mario and Rabbids game just looks really interesting though. Like I know it's Mario and Rabbids, but still look pretty interesting and was surprising. Shock and surprise with the Beyond Good and Evil 2 at the end, which is also I think those two games makes Ubisoft conference a really good conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, but let's be for real. Like, we don't even need to have a separate question about Ubisoft's conference, because realistically, who really cares about The Crew 2, Transference, Skull and Bones, Starlink Battle for Atlas? I mean, Far Cry 5 maybe you can make an argument for.
Yeah.
But who cares about those when we have Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Of course, a lot of people say at first, why care for Mario and Rabbids? But of course, then when people saw it, it's like, never mind. Like, yeah, it's this game. That looks interesting, or thought it could be good and everything. That's the funny thing. Like, this game's just gonna be so bad. And I know I was talking with my friend about like he didn't watch the conference live and was talking about how they dropped the Mario Rabbids game. He's like, this game's not gonna sell. No one's gonna buy it. Only old people and mobile or like the casual gamers are gonna buy it and all that. He was saying only old people and casual gamers or casual players are gonna buy it, and like no one's gonna buy this. That was funny, and this was after the conference. Like he didn't watch it live or anything. Just was talking to a friend about it or anything, and he didn't seen the gameplay for it at all yet. But he was talking about it like, oh my, it's pretty funny. Well, it was pretty funny what he said about Mario and Rabbids game that. No one's gonna play it. No one likes the Rabbids series, and just
pretty much what Pancake was saying during the predictions discussion.
And that only like really old or people who don't know anything about video games are gonna play it, or only little kids will play it, or something like that.
Yep.
But I think that's just from the first reactions of it being. Like, I guess being announced, not really being, but after showing the gameplay, quite a bit of people's opinions changed about the game. And of course, a lot of people are excited for Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah, I honestly don't have much to say about Beyond Good and Evil 2 because I never played the first one, but...
Same.
You just know this is one of those games where it's like such a huge deal when it was announced, and the fact that Ubisoft actually lied prior to E3s, claiming that Beyond Good and Evil 2 would not be at E3. That was, and then they saw it. That was pretty great.
Well, I think part of the reason is just that they didn't want anything to be spoiled and everything.
Yeah, they didn't want anything to be spoiled.
Like it did and everything, which I think that's the reason why they tried to lie or tried to hold it up. Which I mean, they did, but yeah,
throwing everybody off the scent about that, it was a great move. And you can really tell from the developers on stage that it was a pretty emotional moment for them because, I think one guy was actually starting to cry about it.
I think it showed like the creator of the Mario Rabbids / or the guy who kind of was like started crying of just enjoyment in the audience and all that. The creator of the game or whatever.
Yep.
Just how like people thought this game looks good, and I guess the guy just kind of started like crying just of enjoyment, a cry of joy.
As for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I'm with you guys when this was first leaked. I did not like the idea. I don't like rabbits, and the idea of a crossover RPG with Mario is very weird.
Yeah.
But then seeing the gameplay trailer and all that, that was really, really fun, and I'm really looking forward to this game. It's coming out a lot sooner than I thought it would be. Like, isn't it coming out in August or something like that?
Yeah, that was pretty soon. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming out a lot sooner than I thought it would. But
yeah, that's really soon.
Now I need to go on a bit of a rant for a moment. Those stupid leakers. Why did they spoil this? This would have been an amazing surprise if we knew nothing about it. Why did those stupid leakers have to say anything about this game? Why? It would have been amazing seeing people's live reactions to this being revealed for the first time. But then those leakers just had to go and spoil the fun for everybody. Because if they get it right, they spoiled the fun from getting it revealed for the first time. If they get it wrong, then people are going to get mad about what's actually going to happen, like what's happening with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. People are mad that it's not stars, but you're getting 2 new versions of that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is when it's leaked, there's like people like think it's gonna happen, but it doesn't happen, and then people get mad because that didn't happen. Or like that's the thing is why that's the problem with while like of course the thing is when they get it right, people are well excited about it and everything. But the thing is if they're right, people are not as excited if it's kept secret. That's the thing.
But if this wasn't leaked prior to E3, just think about it. People would have seen Peach's Castle and immediately thought Mario Odyssey. And then the Peach Rabbit comes along and people are going to be wondering, what's going on?
Well, I mean, a lot of people were still excited because they didn't expecting it being good, though. That's the thing, though, too. So
yeah, it's true.
So, but still, yeah. I mean, I really didn't know that much about it that much. I mean, I heard stuff about the crossover thing, but didn't really know anything.
All right, so my next question, I don't think we really have a... What?
I never gave my full thoughts on Mario and Rabbids and the Beyond Good and Evil.
I did.
No.
No, me, Pancake, and you, L8RG8R2U, but he didn't.
Huh.
The only point I got across during that was mentioning all the other games nobody cares about.
Yeah.
Give your opinion.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Alright, so Mario and Rabbids, I agree, it sucks that it was leaked ahead of time. It would have been an awesome surprise, especially because Miyamoto was there, if it was just announced organically and not leaked. But yeah, it looks amazing. The XCOM style of game that it is, it looks really good. Even just the art style of the game looks really good. I really love when they showed the game director in the audience when Bill translated for Miyamoto thanking him. You could just tell how much heart and soul the guy put into the game, and for it to be approved by one of his childhood idols, it's a touching moment. And yeah, it's coming out. A lot of people expected it in September, so the end of August instead is a nice surprise. But yeah, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle looked really, really good. I'm excited to play it. I was one of the many people that was like, this game is not going to be good. The Rabbids haven't been really good since they were first introduced. Like, it's not going to be good at all. But somehow they pulled it together. The team at Ubisoft pulled it together, and it looks really good. I guess it's just teaming up with Mario, like, just how, like, I guess normalized the Mario characters are, like just how regular they are. Like, I mean, it kind of worked with the Rayman crossover, I guess, too. The Rabbids are really insane, and then they're counterbalanced with like the calm aspect of another character like Mario or Rayman in the past. But yeah, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle looks amazing. I can't wait. I really loved how like hilarious the Rabbid Peach is. It's really hilarious how she likes taking selfies all the time. Seeing Peach handle a gun for the first time was hilarious. Rabbid Luigi being canon is amazing. And I liked the Donkey Kong gigantic rabbit too. That was great. Yeah, now on to Beyond Good and Evil 2. It looks really great, and hopefully it doesn't take like 17 years to come out, because they've already been working on the game for like 10 years at this point, so hopefully they can tone down the engine maybe a little bit so it doesn't take them like an extra year or two to get it out. But yeah, even this game too, the heart and soul that the Ubisoft team put into it just to show off the announcement trailer, you can tell it means the world to the people. So it was really nice to finally get Beyond Good and Evil 2 announced. Hopefully the rumor that it's a timed exclusive for the Switch remains true. Hopefully that will come to fruition whenever they finally do announce. Maybe probably at next year's E3 what consoles it will probably be on, because I assume it'll be there. They can't just announce it here and then not include it next year in any type of capacity. So hopefully next year we can get an announcement of at least what consoles it'll be on, and I would look forward to that very much so. But yeah, I loved Ubisoft Conference. Way better than Sony and Microsoft in my eyes, and also one of their best in probably like the last decade.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say that this might very well be Ubisoft's best E3 conference.
Oh, I agreed. Oh, and they also showed off Just Dance. I forgot to mention that, but that's like a given every year. So,
but for that's for
who cares about that?
But I thought that's for a different question that Yeto was going to say anyway. Because he was just saying about Beyond Good and Evil 2 and Mario Rabbids Camp first, then talk about the other games in the next question.
Yeah, but literally nobody cares about any other games but those two, so I don't think there's any point to do the other question.
So we just skip that thing?
Yes.
I was going to ask if there are any other Ubisoft games you want to talk about, but I don't think anybody really cares about anything else.
Well, I was just going to quickly mention, I'm not really excited for this game at all, because I haven't really, like I said, only played like one the game in the series before, and I thought it was alright. What I played was I guess they did which was always shown off in a different conference. The Assassin's Creed Origins game, but
oh yes, I forgot about that.
The Assassin's Creed Origins. I mean, that game looks pretty cool with being in ancient Egypt and all that, which looks really interesting, especially with how they took like a 1 year break from they took like a 1 full year break from have 1 year where they didn't release the Assassin's Creed game and everything, which I think another reason why a lot more people are excited for that game, just because they waited 1 full year instead of releasing Assassin's Creed game per year. They waited another year and everything, for the Assassin's, and plus I think a lot of people are just excited because they waited a while and everything. I'm not really an Assassin's Creed fan at all. Like I said, I only played a little bit of the fourth one, which is Black Flag, which is the one with the pirate and everything. And that one, and also the Assassin's Creed, the one I played, it's not the, I know it's not referred, it's not the best Assassin's Creed, but people refer it as one of the better or best ones and everything. And actually, it's probably referred as to really one of the pretty much the last really good one of the Assassin's Creed games, because the last few just been not so good at all. Especially Unity, which was the one that a lot of people hated, which I haven't played. Like I said, I only played the fourth one, and that was and the only reason I played the fourth one, or Assassin's Creed 4, is because a few years ago was on Xbox. If you have Xbox Gold and everything, a few years ago, it was one of the it was one of the free games for the month or whatever that was free. So I was able to get that game free and try it out. And I thought the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was a pretty fun game and everything. And the only reason I'm looking forward to that, maybe play some of the other games and maybe get into the series if I even really like the series at all. But yeah, but I just talked about it because that's I was planning on mentioning it in the other conference or whatever that we did earlier, but I thought this would be probably a better conference to talk about it and everything. So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm actually kind of excited for that one. I've never played an Assassin's Creed game before, but Origins it looks really good.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's coming to the Switch is pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot it's coming out of Switch. Yeah. Well, I knew it was going to come out for the the PS4 and Xbox One and all that. But yeah, who knows? I might even get it for the Switch. If I do get it, I guess I'm thinking I'm gonna get it for the Switch. Then if it's coming out for the Switch, like if it wasn't coming out the Switch, and if I did decide to get it, I would get it for my Xbox One. But now you mentioned that it's coming out for the Switch, I might get it for the Switch. I guess I forgot about that. It's coming out for that.
My mindset is that if any third-party game comes out for the Switch that I'm interested in, I'm going to get it on the Switch so that I can play it from my TV.
Yeah, like that's the thing is like if it's a third-party game that comes out for the Switch, I'm gonna get it unless I already own the game, and unless I'm just really love the game on the other console I already own, and they add a bunch of new stuff. But like if I don't own the game on a different console and it comes to the Switch, I'm probably gonna get the Switch because you can play the game on your TV and to go, while on other consoles you kind of just really can play it on your TV.
Well, they do have the remote play feature, but it's kind of a mess to set that up.
Oh yeah, true. But I'm mainly talking about like where you can play on your tablet or on on the tablet portion of the Switch, and then or play it on your dock on TV, because that would be really cool. And that's the thing. That's what I hope that third party games, like more people go to third party games on the Switch, especially seeing games that are going to the Switch, and if they do well, other companies will see that, or the same company will see that and put more of their games, or other companies put their games on the Switch.
Yeah. Marketing the fact that you can play these games anywhere at any time I think that's going to be a really big selling point for the Switch version of these games.
Yeah.
Like PS4 and Xbox One, you have the best visual experience, but if you get it on the Switch, you can take it with you.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm excited for that's one thing, like I said, like until what you just mentioned, how it's coming for the Switch, for the Assassin's Creed Origins. But I might get it just because I can play it on the Switch. Good and everything. If people say it's good, if people say it's bad, I'm probably not going to get it. But who knows? I might still get it anyway. But of course, as me being not an Assassin's Creed fan at all, I only played the fourth one. If people say it's not a good Assassin's Creed game and it's not that good, I probably won't get it. But if people say it's good, I'm probably going to try it out and get it, see if I like it or not. And
speaking of Switch games, now we're about halfway through these questions, and the other half is pretty much only Nintendo stuff.
Well, do you want does Pancake or James want to talk about that game or any other games?
I'm getting tired. Let's just hurry up.
Okay. Okay.
I heard you talk about a Switch release for Origins. I don't think the developers said they weren't planning it.
Well, that was confirmed.
No, it's only on Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
Okay, I'll double check that in a minute.
I don't remember. I thought I didn't remember that, but you said something about that. Unless he was thinking of a different game.
I'll double check. I think
it might happen in a different game that was going to be on the Switch. That Ubisoft announced, maybe.
I'll double check while you guys answer this next question. Without mentioning any particular games, what do you think of the Nintendo Spotlight and the Treehouse demonstrations?
Let me just sum it up. Nintendo, 100%, just outdid everybody else in such limited time too. They did an amazing job at showing off their games, and it was like the way they did it was amazing too. It was just like they show off a game, then they move on to the next, and move on to the next, and it was just it was fast paced. It was amazing. The games look beautiful, stunning, and it's just everything Nintendo didn't do in the past when the Wii was still a thing that they're doing now. There's a brighter future for Nintendo now than there ever was back in the past, and I'm happy for Nintendo.
Before we get into the full-on Treehouse and Spotlight, I think we should talk about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, considering the stars thing from the predictions video.
Okay, sure. Why not? You know, I
And,
just went on my whole gushing over Nintendo. Thank you, James.
and also,
No problem.
also, like, get to you. I looked it up, and it's not for the Switch.
Yeah, I just
it's for PS4. Well, at least of what confirmed so far, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Which, I mean, I was surprised when you told me that. Like, it is like
everything.
And then,
but everything I said still stands. If it does come to the Switch, I will get that version.
yeah. If it comes to the Switch, yeah, okay, yeah. If it comes to the Switch, I was like, because when you told me about that, I was like, I don't remember them saying that, or don't recall them, or don't remember that, but which is true because it hasn't been confirmed for the Switch yet, but I'm pretty sure it'd be nice if it does come for the Switch, because I'll probably get it if it does come for the Switch.
Yep.
But let's get to Nintendo now.
Well,
Yeah, you said you want.
yeah, talk about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, considering the whole Pokemon Stars thing from before the Pokemon Direct even happened.
All right, I'll say something about Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I'm actually really happy that we're getting Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for the fact that it makes sense why they're doing it instead of going right to the Switch main series. Making quote-unquote sequels to Sun and Moon makes a whole lot more sense. And Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I wasn't like the rest of the fan base where everybody got just salty over the fact that, like, I remember seeing one guy say, well, Pokemon Stars was confirmed, why would you cancel it? It was never confirmed, and you can't cancel it. Never confirmed.
Yeah, it was never confirmed. Like, they didn't, like, it was leaked as it was leaked as it, which leaks are not always true.
Yeah, and I'm happy for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Frankly, since I already got Sun, I'm going to get Ultra Moon, not only because, well, I already have Sun, but because Ultra Lunala just looks awesome. I mean, come on.
For me, I'm doing the opposite just because I had Moon and probably get Ultra Sun. Because, like, I that's what I kind of like to do if they do that. Like, that's what I did with the black and white and black to white 2. I got black version, then got white 2.
Yeah.
That's what I did, which I'm thinking I'm gonna do it with the same with like this, where I'm going to get which I did get Moon, but I'm thinking I'm gonna get Ultra Sun just to be like that.
That's the thing. I don't think they're doing what they did. Well, technically, it would be a reversal of what they did in Black and White. Like,
I'm
just saying. I don't think they're gonna pull the thing they did with Black and White, where in the original Black and White, Reshiram was in black instead of white, and Zekrom was in white instead of black, and then they switched them back for black to white to. I don't think they're going to do the reverse, where you would probably get Ultra Solgaleo and Ultra Moon instead of Ultra Sun. Like, I don't think they'll do a reversal like that. I think it'll just stick to what it was.
Yeah, well, I knew that. I wasn't thinking that. I was just saying that I was gonna get Ultra Sun because I got to Moon and everything. And I wanted to get the opposite version of what I got from Moon, which kind of like I did with Black to White 2 and Black and White. But the thing is, unlike Black to White 2 and Black and White, they switched them up. Why in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, they kept it with where it makes sense and everything.
Okay.
So. That's what I was saying. Like, I wasn't thinking that they're gonna switch it up. I was saying that I would get the other version of instead of getting Ultra Moon, I would get Ultra Sun because I got Moon from when Sun and Moon I got Moon, so they decided I'm probably gonna get Ultra Sun and get that instead. Plus during the daytime I can play during the day. Light instead of playing during the day, it's nighttime. Because that did kind of get annoying when playing at night a little bit all the time. I could play at night and it'd be daylight in Moon, But the thing is, most of the time I'm playing wasn't really during the nighttime, so.
All I really have to say about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is the fact that if they had made Pokemon Stars, then any future Switch Pokemon games would be limited to what Sun and Moon had already done. So I'm glad that they're making the 2 new versions for the 3DS, and the Switch Pokemon game will be its own thing.
Yeah. Also, one thing about the Ultra Sun Ultra Moon thing is well, I'm excited for Ultra Sun Ultra Moon and seeing what they bring and everything, but at the same time, I kind of wish that, like, I mean, with the being on the Switch, like they did say at E3 that there's a Pokemon game coming to the Switch. I'm just hoping it's going to be a main game, but if it is going to be a main game, I'm like. The thing with Ultra Sun Ultra Moon is I'm excited that they're coming out, but like I'm just really excited to play a main Pokemon game on the Switch. That's like I'm really excited for that. Like I think that's probably the reason why a lot of people wanted to be on the Switch, because they wanted to play a main Pokemon game on the Switch. But at the same time, Sun and Moon just came out last fall and everything on the 3DS and everything, so. Which makes sense which also makes sense why they're doing it on the 3DS only and everything. And so, yeah, because when you think about it, back then, also 2 things I like to mention back during the 5th generation era that's kind of sort of like this. I know one is like how because Black 2 White 2 were on the DS, and the 3DS was out when Black 2 White 2 came out. Like the 3DS came out shortly after Black and White came out in the United States, shortly after. And so, but then they decided to put Black 2 White 2 on the DS, which I definitely agree when they did that. Which I thought was 2 reasons why I thought that was a good choice, because people who wanted to play the sequels or it would play on the DS, and people who didn't have the 3DS at the time could be able to play it and everything on the DS. So that if they didn't have a 3DS and all that, which I was one of those people at the time, because I didn't get my 3DS until like the Christmas of X and Y, the following, I guess would be the following year, following Christmas of 2013 was the year I got my 3DS, and Black 2 White 2 came out in 2012. So, but Black 2 White 2 on DS, so that didn't have a problem, which. And I got my 3DS mainly for X and Y too, so, and mainly for Pokemon. But and also another thing I want to mention about 5th generation and all that, there were people at the time who thought the next games after Black and White were going to be Pokemon Gray, but instead it came out with Black 2 White 2, so that's another thing. Like, and then there's this thing called Pokemon. Then like recently with Ultra Sun Ultra Moon, people thought it was gonna be Stars, but it came out beating Ultra Sun Ultra Moon. So it's kind of sort of like that. Like when people thought it was gonna be Pokemon Gray, or it's like the time when after X and Y came out. I mean, after X and Y, after Black 2 White 2 came out, like before X and Y were announced, people wanted the remakes, but then they didn't announce it until X and Y came out. Like, they didn't announce it until X and Y came out. Like, but instead they announced X and Y, and a lot of people were disappointed that they didn't release 3rd gen remakes. And then after X and Y came out, they announced 3rd gen remakes, and a lot of people were hyped about that and everything. But so it's sort of like that issue when people wanted 3rd gen remakes, but we got X and Y instead at first, which they did do eventually 3rd gen remakes. But like because a lot of people wanted it at the time, which I wasn't really one of those people at the time. Really, I was like because I was fine with not having 3rd generation remakes then and everything back then. Even though it would be fun to have it would have been fun to have 3rd gen remakes back then, but like we got X and Y, like we still got X and Y and all that. Which, in my opinion, when X and Y came out, I thought was too soon for X and Y. But and plus also I wanted to play Pokemon, able to play Pokemon, because with the X and Y going out, I didn't have a 3DS then, so, but still. But I know with Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and all that, I know a lot of people are disappointing that it's not on the Switch and all that. Oh, what's the chat? Burp. Okay, I'll be right back.
And hate to interrupt, but we're getting off topic, and this discussion's been going on for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, we just passed the 2-hour mark.
Oh boy. At least we're out Nintendo, so.
Yeah, I'd hate to interrupt, but also the fact that my phone's almost dead, and yeah.
But yeah, I was just saying. Okay, fine. I'll wrap up real quick about it. But yeah, with like that's Nintendo being like, I think what they could have done, like if they didn't do Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, I think they could have like at least wait a full year or something like that. Like not maybe like how they did, like there was no game because there was like the year after the third generation makes, there was no Pokemon game for like a full year. Then there was the 7th gen that came out last year. So I mean, I think they could have done that if they didn't do Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. But yeah, but I have a 3DS, so like I can play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon when they come out though. Even though that'd be pretty cool if they had a Switch. If they had Switch, which I mean, it'd be cool if they had a Switch and a 3DS version next year after whatever the next Pokemon games are after Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
We'll save that for when we talk about Pokemon Switch.
Do discussions always go like this?
I think you being here adds a little more to it, but usually it's about this, yeah. Like, maybe you being here adds maybe, like, 10, 15 minutes, but Brandon usually goes on, like, his 15-minute monologues all the time, so.
My job is to be sexy. I'm not doing a good job at it.
Yeah, you should have been fired about 7 million times by now.
Yeah.
And on that note, welcome back to the discussion, everybody.
No.
Where were we?
We were
Nintendo.
We just finished talking about Pokemon. Now, please go on to your question.
I didn't talk about Ultra Sun and Moon. Because Brandon spent 50 minutes talking about it himself.
Okay, Miss Lady.
Don't sass me, young man.
Okay, Mom. Jeez.
Okay, Dad. From another dad.
Alright, this is getting weird. I'm muting your guys' audio so I can talk. Anyway, so Ultra Sun and Moon, I mean, Brandon's 70-minute monologue pretty much covered anything I wanted to talk about as far as how it's pretty cool that they're bringing back the whole sequel idea like they did in Black and White 2. Because Game Freak, they did the Black and White 2 thing because everybody was used to the third games, like Yellow, Crystal, Emerald, and Platinum, so they decided to throw a wrench in the whole system and do sequels instead. And then when X and Y came out, everyone expected, okay, they'll go back to a third game, they'll give us Z, right? No, they just didn't continue with Kalos at all. And then Sun and Moon came out, and now they're going back to the sequel thing, so Game Freak does what they want.
They didn't say it's sequel, they just said it's an alternate timeline and everything.
Sequel.
They really didn't say it's a sequel though.
Yeah, but that's basically the gist of it.
Not really. Could like
Okay.
Because in my opinion, I think it's like a third installment, but split into 2 different versions. That's what my theory or type thing is.
That's what Black and White 2 were. They were gray, but in 2 different games.
Well, there were sequels. There weren't third installment, though.
They were pretty much Pokemon Gray, though. So you're basically saying that they'll be like Black and White 2, which were just like Gray, except split in 2.
But not But I'm saying Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, in my opinion, are not sequels. Unlike Black and White 2.
Calm down. Just eat your lollipops. Stop fighting on the playground. Why did I just say that?
You're a strange kind of grown up.
Really late at night. Oh God.
How do you think I feel?
I need coffee.
And like in my opinion, Black 2, White 2 aren't their stone because they're sequels.
The producers literally said in an interview that Black and White 2 are gray but split in two.
Oh my God, are we still on this?
Hey, I'm the one who wants to move on, but someone interrupted me.
Alright. So I just wanted to point out because people are saying it's a sequel, which in my opinion, I mean, they just said Ultimate Timeline. They didn't really quite say it's sequel and all. Like it might be a sequel, it might not be a sequel. I don't know. Or it might just be, like a third installment, like like how Yellow or Crystal or Emerald or Platinum is, but split into two.
Okay, anyway, so Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they look cool. Alternate story sequels, I don't care, they're kind of like the same thing anyway. Now we can move on to the Nintendo Spotlight.
Thank you, James.
You
You're
said
welcome,
that right
son.
away. I was reaching for my bag of chips. Alright, without mentioning any particular games, what did you think of the Nintendo Spotlight and the Treehouse demonstrations this year?
I already
We touched on
said,
this a bit. We touched on this a bit earlier, but then we got sidetracked with Pokemon.
like I said, I already said what I had to say before we started talking about Pokemon, so I'll just let everybody else say what they have to say.
Okay. Nintendo Spotlight was pretty awesome, and just Nintendo won E3 just hands down. Like I know you said don't mention the game, but Nintendo just won E3 about all the stuff they showed or announced or showed more of and all that. Well, I mean, while the Treehouse I really don't really care for Treehouse because I don't really like the Treehouse or how they kind of do it. Even though I did like how they did have a spotlight type of thing, but just not really care. I didn't watch the Treehouse at all. I did hear about the different games that were shown or whatever, but I didn't really watch the Treehouse at all. But I did watch the Spotlight, obviously, and everything, and did a reaction thing to that. So, which the Spotlight was really cool, which helped Nintendo win E3. So, yeah, I think Nintendo won E3 this year.
So, yeah, the Spotlight, Nintendo won E3 for sure. The Spotlight was great. A lot of people, including myself, were skeptical about it being only like 25 minutes long, but Nintendo pulled through, and we'll get to each individual game, but it was just great. It was awesome. I really loved the Spotlight. Good choice. I like Nintendo doing their own thing. They don't have to do the traditional conference because, especially this year, they've proven that they don't need to waste people's times by having fluffer in between announcements. They can just go rapid fire and get things done in a little amount of time, and then they have their Treehouse for more announcements, which we'll also talk about, and showcase the games, like their demos, how you would see in a traditional conference, but in a much grander scale. Because with the Treehouse, in a traditional conference, they would be limited to upwards of 20 minutes for a game. And during the Treehouse, they managed to show off Mario Odyssey in specific, like, multiple times for 35 minutes to, like, 50 minutes. So it's much better for them to have a shorter, non-traditional conference and then just go all out with announcements or their demos in the Treehouse. I like it a lot, and I wish people would, after all these years now, it's been, 3 years now in a row, just get used to it, because Nintendo's gonna Nintendo. They're not gonna go traditional anymore, and I, quite frankly, like it.
Yeah, part of me kind of wishes that they would have press conferences, but I think this year proved in my mind that they don't need them. The Spotlight is a great idea to just have all your games rapid fire, trailer after trailer after trailer for half an hour, which this year proved that's plenty of time to demonstrate a bunch of awesome games and maybe small scale reveals for later.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Brandon and Pancake have sworn off the Treehouse and was there to go burn, but I think this year was by far their best demonstration for the Nintendo Treehouse, because we got a lot more details for a bunch of the games, like we saw how the co-op mode is going to work in Super Mario Odyssey. There was no hint for that at all in any of the trailers, and we got some new game reveals as well during those treehouse demonstrations. And it's just really fun to see them talk about the history behind the games without using that time during the actual conference itself and wasting everybody's time with that. Just making it so the people who want to see that can in a separate demonstration. So I think this year is the perfect format for them. I hope they stick with it, but knowing Nintendo, come on, let's be real, they're going to change it again next year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now on to more specific games. What are your thoughts on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Fire Emblem Warriors?
Now, Xenoblade 2, I've been excited for a long time, and the trailer they shown off at E3 made me more excited. Fire Emblem Warriors, I was a little skeptical at first, but after seeing the trailer, I'm definitely gonna get the game when it comes out. You know, that's all I really have to say.
Mm. Well, in my opinion, both games look pretty interesting and everything. While I never really played Xenoblade, but I hear how much the Xenoblade Chronicles, like I hear so much good things about Xenoblade Chronicles, and I know this is a sequel to that game, particularly that game, not X, but particularly to Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles. Like I might get it or might try the game out. And then with Fire Emblem Warriors, like I said, it also looks interesting. Why I have played Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS, and that's pretty decent, pretty fun game. So I might try it out maybe, or maybe even get try out demos for either game if they release demos for the games and all that. But there's not really that much to say about those two games. But still looking forward to them though, if I do play them.
Yeah, Fire Emblem Warriors looks pretty good. I like the initial characters they showed off for it, like having Marth, having female Corrin, having more characters from Awakening than Birthright, whatever the thing was that just happened. Not the Shadows of Valencia. Yeah, Fates. Thank you. Yeah, I like what I've seen so far, and they showed off a trailer during the spotlight, and then they showed off a lot of gameplay in the treehouse. Again, I like it. It looks good. I'm interested to find out whether or not the traditional Fire Emblem game on the Switch is going to focus on the two blonde protagonists that they showed off in Warriors. I know they said that those characters are exclusive to Warriors. At least I think they mentioned that they're exclusive to Warriors, but I'd be interested to see if they kind of take the lying route on that and they're the protagonists of the regular Fire Emblem Switch game and they're just showing them off early. Because, I mean, they did that with Corrin in Smash Brothers, but other than that, wait, what was the other game we were talking about?
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Okay, Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah, it looks good. I'm surprised they actually managed to translate and record the English dialogue for it after only announcing it a couple months prior, a handful of months prior, rather. So it was nice that we got a little bit of a taste of what it's gonna be like for us in the States for the voice acting. I don't think I recognized any of the regular voice actors that have worked in Xenoblade Chronicles and Chronicles X. That might just be their difference in tone for a character they voiced, but yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles looks good. I'm surprised it didn't get delayed till 2018, to be honest. But hopefully it will come out during the holiday and it doesn't get delayed. But I wouldn't be surprised if in a Nintendo Direct around August or September they do an update and say, yeah, hey, Xenoblade ain't coming out at the end of this year. We're sorry, but hopefully that won't be the case.
Yeah, I'll start with Fire Emblem because I don't have as much to say about that one. I loved Hyrule Warriors on the Wii U. A part of me wished that this was a port of Hyrule Warriors Legends because I'd like to be able to play those 3DS maps at a decent frame rate because there's no denying that 3DS frame rate for Hyrule Warriors isn't that great. But Fire Emblem Warriors, I like how they're incorporating the weapon triangle from the games into this new game, so that looks really cool. The characters they have for the game, I think they're pretty great. A lot of people are complaining that it's mostly sword fighters, but come on, it's Fire Emblem. Everybody has a sword. So yeah, I'm happy about the characters so far. Although a tiny nitpick, and this is a really stupid one, is that Marth has an English voice, and I'm playing Smash Brothers all these years. I'm so used to hearing him in Japanese, so.
Wow.
I wish he had a Japanese voice, but it's not important. That's basically everything I want to say about Fire Emblem. But as for Xenoblade Chronicles 2, oh my god, those treehouse demonstrations were amazing. They said that, as far as we know, it's not a direct sequel to the first game. They said that the reason why it's called Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is because it's taking the ideas from the original game into this new one and making it more story-based rather than exploration, like in Xenoblade Chronicles X. And I really like the fact that they're expanding upon the idea of the Mechanists and the Bionists and making it so that there are a lot more creatures that you can walk on, like that giant monster that you saw, or the giant whale, or things like that. And I really love the idea of all the Sea of Clouds, or whatever they called that, because it reminds me of Skyward Sword. And then it reminds me of Skyward Sword is automatically a good thing. And just in general, I'm really looking forward to this game. I love Xenoblade. I could totally see how this could still be a sequel. I can't really say that much about it right now because Xenoblade is best played blind, and it would spoil everything if I explained how I think this game connected to that one in terms of story. But bottom line is, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 looks amazing. Now the next question: What do you think of the new Kirby and Yoshi games?
Amazing.
Let James go first. Let's let James go. Let's let James go first on this one.
Actually, I agree with you. Forget what I said. Actually, just bleep out what I said.
No, I'm leaving it in.
But yeah, let make James go first on this one because I know he really loves Kirby. So.
Hey, I love Yoshi too. Don't discriminate against my favorite dinosaur.
Well, no, it's just saying specifically Kirby.
Dinosaurs are people too.
Because I know how excited you were for that one Kirby robotic game that came out and all that.
Okay. So yeah. I also think we should kind of lump in that Pokemon Switch thing, so I'll quickly mention that. Core RPG, that's cool. Hopefully it's... I mean, it would be cool if it was a main series title, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a third game in the vein of XD Gale of Darkness. I think it's going to be one of those instead, which I wouldn't mind, because I liked XD Gale of Darkness and Coliseum, so... but anyway, new Kirby looks amazing. It's basically a new Return to Dreamland, which I love. They're adopting the... featuring Superstar, I believe, which is the basically getting enemies to be your allies, which is cool, and they're bringing back the thing from Kirby 64 with the combining power-ups, which is really, really cool. At first, when it was started to be announced, I was scared that it wasn't gonna be, like, it was gonna be a single-player thing, but adding enemies, but they confirmed it's 4-player co-op. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm very excited for the new Kirby game. Hopefully it has a very creative title, maybe Return the Number 2 Dreamland. I don't know, I'm just spitballing there for that, but and then the new Yoshi game, Yoshi is in the Woolly World style, but like the world setting is like all cardboard cutouts, so maybe they'd call this Yoshi's Cardboard World, Yoshi's Crafty World, maybe. I think Crafty World would be better for that. But I like it. It's basically Woolly World 2, so what's not... I really liked Woolly World, so what's not to like about that? I like the whole flip side thing. Maybe they'll call it Yoshi's Flip Side Story. I don't know. They can call it whatever they want, really. I'd still play it nonetheless. So I'm really looking forward to those when they come out next year. I assume those and another game that we'll get to probably right after this one. They'll be like, Nintendo's E3 was good this year, but just everything alluding from this year, I think, is going to really hit another home run next year. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Kirby, looking forward to Yoshi, and whatever Pokemon game they produce, I'm looking forward to that too.
Okay. With that, I think, well, with the main Pokemon game, in my opinion, well, I think it's gonna be a main. Like, I have doubts I have some parts that say I think it's gonna be a main game, then other parts I don't think so. The only reason I think it's gonna be a main game is Nintendo did say that Game Freak is creating a Pokemon game for the Switch, which if you look at the past Pokemon games, a lot of the spin-off games weren't like created just by Game Freak, and like the Game Freak are just mainly responsible for the main Pokemon games. So that's another reason why I think it's gonna be for the main game. But the thing with Pokemon, a main series Pokemon game hasn't been on a console and only been on the handheld device. So, but with this being a crossover, with the Switch being handheld and and playing it on TV, what would be the future for the main series Pokemon games? Because because it would make sense to keep just supporting the 3DS. Because I can see supporting the 3DS for a little bit longer, but like eventually the 3DS is gonna die out because of the Switch and all that. Unless they just keep supporting the 3DS for a while, and a lot of people keep getting the Switch. Keep getting the 3DS, but just because of the Switch, you have like the playing on a handheld and on TV. So like, what would be the future for the main Pokemon games and especially if they don't release a main Pokemon game on the Switch? Like, would they it wouldn't make sense to release future handheld devices if the Switch is also handheld and a TV. So which is also another reason why I think this Pokemon game is going to be on the Switch because of that. But at the same time, it could be Coliseum, it could be XD, or to like a type of those, like a third one like that, or it could be a whole new spin-off IP of Pokemon, or new spin-off game that we haven't seen before, or it could be other ones, like it could be maybe a Mystery Edition, it could be a Ranger game, it could be even the Poke Park type of games that we had on the Wii with the Pikachu and all that. It could be, who knows, it could be a Hey You Pikachu Switch. It could be Pokemon Snap 2 or something like that. Who knows, what, but I do really be cool if they had a sequel or something similar to XD Coliseum if it's a non main Pokemon game. But I'm not losing hope on being a main game. Like, it could be a main game because it's being made by Game Freak. But anyway, enough of that. I'm not really a big fan of Yoshi or Kirby that much because I haven't really played a Yoshi game, and I only played part of a Kirby game like a long time ago. Like a very long time ago. In a
galaxy far away.
Whatever. But anyway, yeah, so I'm not really a big fan of Kirby or Yoshi with that. Well, I'm a fan of their character. I'm not a fan of their game because I haven't really played their games. So I'm not hating on Kirby. I'm not hating on Yoshi at all. Like, I love both the characters, especially and yeah, especially Kirby and Smash Brothers. Like I prefer Kirby and Smash over Yoshi and Smash Brothers, but yeah, like the games do look interesting. Like I said, the Yoshi game does look like a lot like Woolly World. Despite I never played Woolly World, it does look like a lot like Woolly World. Like it could be a sequel to Woolly World. It could be like a whole different type, like similar like how a cardboard world or something like that. Or like of course the thing is also maybe the game looked like that because it's still in early develop, like still pretty early on in development that they haven't quite got to the Woolly side of things yet of the game yet.
I don't see them changing the art style at this point if it's coming out next year.
Like I mean, that's what I'm saying. That maybe they not quite have got it done yet. That I mean, they might not change the art style, but like they might change some stuff that make it look maybe better and they make it look like more like that. I guess like Woolly World, but it could also be like said, some like Cardboard World, or could just be something completely different or whatever. And then there's the Kirby game, which looks pretty interesting. Like, the thing is, I kind of need to play different other Kirby games and play other Yoshi games, and who knows, this Kirby game might be the first Kirby game I get. Like I said, I have played some old Kirby game before a long time ago in the past, but that was like 10 years ago or whatever, and that was like at one of my cousin's house once, like over 10 years ago. Since that, because that was during during the original Xbox days and the PS2 days and all that. Well, when I played a Kirby game, unless you count Smash Bros, but Smash Bros just say compilation of Nintendo characters fighting each other, but and like the thing with Smash Brothers was also one of the series that introduced me to some of the different Nintendo characters. I knew about Kirby, of course, and Yoshi and all that, but like some of the characters Smash Brothers introduced me to and everything too, which to a lot of the game series that I never played before. A lot of them I haven't, but Smash Brothers introduced me as playing as them and all that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I kind of have to say about those two games. Not like I'm excited to try them out. I like as a demo, like at the other two games I mentioned, or even play them or try them out. But yeah, that's all I had to say about those two games.
Before Pancake goes, I quickly want to mention the fact you brought up about Woolly World, that not Woolly World, the new cardboard Woolly whatever game that's gonna come out next year. Early in development for the original Woolly World, it originally had a similar art style to Epic Yarn, where Yoshi was just like the yarn string instead, and then what they showed off at the one E3, the Woolly World had a lot of more realistic looking real world items. It kind of reminded me, that old art style of Woolly World reminded me kind of a game that came out later called Unravel, where it was a yarn thing in the real world. So that was the original Woolly World. So they did change it a lot in development in Woolly World. But like later Gator to you said, I think they're pretty set on the style they're going for with this one. Okay. Like maybe they'll do minor changes to like the whole cardboard stuff, but I think it's mostly gonna stay the same for this one. Okay.
The thing about Woolly World was the fact that game was first announced in 2013 and it didn't come out until like a few years later. This new Yoshi game is coming out next year.
Yeah.
True. That's true.
So, the whole thing about the core Pokemon game, I want it to be main series, but I also want it to be a sequel to XD.
Yeah. Same.
That's all I'm going to say about those. For Kirby, I really want to play that because I like Kirby a whole lot as a series and a character. And I feel like Kirby just stars in a lot of amazing games. And this game looks like it could be my favorite Kirby game if I play it. For Yoshi, I loved Woolly World. It was one of my favorite Wii U games when it came out, and this game, with the fact that it looks almost exactly like Woolly World, I'm really happy that they're keeping the Woolly World art style. I hope they call it like Woolly World 2, or maybe they should just drop the whole Woolly World title and call it something else. But I think the games look amazing, and the core Pokemon game, I hope it's something good.
Yeah, same.
The Pokemon thing, I could see it going both ways, it being a third Coliseum type game or the next generation. But I will say this, if they do make 2 versions of it and it is the next generation Pokemon games, either the 2 versions have to have a lot more differences than the previous games, or they need to drop that entirely and just make one version. Because what I really liked about the idea of Sun and Moon was that the differences were the fact that it would take place at different times of day, and this also applies to Fire Emblem Fates to a certain degree, where like Conquest was like the harder game and Birthright was made for casuals and things like that. I can see them doing something like this with this new Pokemon game. Make one version for hardcore gamers, another for casual. Either that, or just make the one version, because there's no doubt this is going to be a $60 game, and having 2 versions of that would be kind of insane.
Well, the thing is, if it's like a main game and the two different versions, like the thing is with Pokemon in the main games, like I know they had 3rd installments that were just one in the series, but that also 3rd installment. But with having 2 different versions, like probably because they had 2 different versions, so you can especially at the back of when it first to the first Pokemon game at the time, was because because some Pokemon were tamed in the other one, and the whole idea is like trading with friends and everything, and like just the whole concept of Pokemon is having the 2 different versions, all that, and that actually sells better than just having one whole version, at least for Pokemon. And also, one thing I also could see him maybe having a 3DS version and then having a Switch version, which I could see that happening. That'd be pretty cool. Have like one version on the 3DS and then one version on the Switch. That'd be pretty cool. Plus, you have a bigger fan base because you have people who just have the 3DS, and then you have people who just have the Switch, and then there's people that get both versions of the 3DS and the Switch.
Kind of like what they did with Smash Bros. 4.
Yeah. Or how they did with the first Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game, where the first Mystery Dungeon game, they had one on the DS and they had one on the GBA with Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game. So like they could maybe do something like that, like where have one on the 3DS, then one on the. Not saying it's a Mystery Dungeon game, but saying that'd be cool to have, like, especially if it's a main game, that'd be pretty cool to have.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to the Kirby and Yoshi and Pokemon thing, the new Kirby game looks really fun because it looks a lot like that canceled GameCube game we never got, and and being able to mix your power-ups like in Kirby 64. Kirby 64 is my favorite Kirby game of all time, and I'm really happy that they're bringing back that ability. And the fact that it's 4-player co-op, and that game just looks so beautiful, and like. This may very well be like one of the better looking Switch games out there, because it looks like an HD, graphic wise, it looks like an HD Triple Deluxe, and Triple Deluxe already looked amazing as it was. So, I'm just rambling on this point, but bottom line, it looks really fun. The OC game looks like a Woolly World sequel, and Woolly World is awesome. But did they say whether or not you could flip the screen during normal gameplay? Because during the treehouse, I noticed that it cut away from the screen whenever they flip the screen. So, is that something you could do in the level, or do you have to do that on the overworld?
I'm not entirely sure, because from the trailer they showed off, it looked like it was fine. Like you just found a certain point in the level to do it. So I'm not sure.
The big reason why I'm excited for this game is kind of silly, but I'm really excited to see how Boundary Break would cover this game. All right. The next question, and this is a big one. What do you think of Metroid Prime 4?
I
All they
yelled.
showed off. I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4, but all they showed off was the number 4 floating through outer space.
That's all they needed to win.
Yep.
That's how they win
Yep.
E3.
Nintendo won E3 with the number 4.
Oh,
In
imagine-
space.
Yeah. Imagine if like there's gonna be imagine if Metroid Prime 4 was the only game they showed. I bet there's still gonna be people who said they won E3.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like even if they
there are
just
people out there who would say that. Me
even though
being one of them.
even if they didn't show off anything else, no Yoshi, no Kirby, no any Pokemon related thing, or even saying it. If they just showed Metroid Prime 4, or just Metroid in general, not even just Metroid Prime 4, just Metroid in general, even if they just showed the Metroid 2 remake,
No,
Spoilers!
we'll save that for later.
like
Spoilers.
sorry, sorry, that Nintendo won E3.
Yep.
Even if they just showed off the DS one, Nintendo won. Like there's gonna be people said Nintendo won E3. You know, in my opinion, not if they just showed off, they would have won. But I mean, they did win because of all of those stuff they announced. But if they just showed off Metroid, in my opinion, they wouldn't have won. Even though a lot of people probably would, call me out on that. I did think Nintendo did win, but it's not just because of Metroid. But
Yeah, if nothing else, then Nintendo definitely won E3 with the Metroid Prime 4 teaser. Even though they showed no gameplay of it, and it's probably still very early in development, there is no doubt that pretty much everybody who saw that 4 floating in space will, like... when I was watching this live, my roommates were sleeping, so I had to be quiet. And I was like mouthing, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!" throughout that entire thing. I was trying my hardest not to scream because it was just so awesome.
Yeah. Oh, imagine if like Nintendo pulls a Breath of the Wild with Metroid Prime 4. As it doesn't come out until like the next system.
You're dead to me.
It comes out. It comes out for the Switch and whatever the next Nintendo console is.
Nintendo Switch U.
It comes out for the Nintendo Switch and then the Switch U. No, the new Nintendo Switch U 2.
I'm getting a headache.
Nintendo Switch Mini.
Oh god.
The new Nintendo Switch Mini U 2.
God.
Deluxe.
Guys. This is gonna be 4 hours if we keep on going like this.
We're about 10 minutes away from the 3-hour mark.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Well,
Yes.
but you also had to count those breaks that we had too. That includes the breaks.
Hey,
the mini
spoiler,
breaks
we
had,
don't
too.
talk about those.
I don't want to stay up until 2 o'clock.
How do you think I feel? It's 3 minutes from 4 a.m. for me.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 minutes before 3.
Shut up.
Oh, boy.
I don't want to stay up till 2 o'clock. Can we please
Yeah.
Next
But
time we
anyway.
do a discussion, let's agree to meet earlier than 9 o'clock.
Please.
If depends what order we are able to anyway. But anyway, with Metroid Prime 4 and everything, yeah, I'm real excited to see more stuff. I know we didn't show anything besides the title of it, but I'm excited to see I'm excited to see more stuff about it and everything. And this could be the game that could be a good Metroid game that brings the Metroid back to being good again.
Yep.
Hashtag make Metroid good again.
I will make Metroid great again.
Yeah, great again. That's really great again. Hashtag make Metroid great again.
Hashtags don't work verbally.
Hashtag Metroid for president. Okay. Okay.
No, hashtag make Samus Aran for president.
I'd be down for that.
Okay.
and she becomes the first American female president.
Well, she's technically Japanese, but
Whatever.
Well, technically, she's. Well,
And
what
she's
is
from
Samus
another
anyway?
planet.
Yeah, that's true.
Still kidding.
Later.
But yeah, I'm excited for the Metroid Prime 4, especially when it comes out and showed more gameplay and all that. And like I said, I only played the original Metroid Prime, the first one for the GameCube, but I'm still well excited for Metroid Prime 4 whenever it comes out and anything. And especially what they show about it, and hopefully it's good too. Because I'm planning, at least because it's Metroid, I'm probably gonna get it.
I've only played Prime 3 Crops, and that game is really good. And that game is pretty good.
Yeah, I heard.
Um,
I heard 3 is like of the Metroid Prime is like the best, like really good one. But
back to Metroid Prime 4, seeing that announcement, and there was this one video that I saw where it was like the Nintendo World Store in New York, and it showed a crowd reaction to that trailer. Seeing that made me wish that this was a press conference so that we can get that huge audience cheering like we did for Twilight Princess when that was announced. But hey, well, Metroid Prime 4 looks awesome.
and also, like I say, I do have a friend who just absolutely loves Metroid, especially the 2D Metroid games. Like, I know he was really excited for Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch, but like, I know he kind of really wanted a 2D Metroid game for the Switch and everything, especially if it's a new 2D Metroid game, I guess. But you never know, that might happen in the future, or because like I said, we are getting one for the 3DS, but that's also a remake. So,
Brandon, it's 4 a.m. Can we please get on with the rest of this video?
but anyway, yeah, like excited for Metroid Prime 4, and I know he is, but yeah, he would prefer a 2D Metroid game, but yeah.
All right.
Except for Metroid Prime 4, so let's get on going.
Speaking of 2D Metroids, that was announced during the Treehouse, which was really unexpected and awesome. So the next question is, what do you think of the 3DS games Nintendo announced during the Treehouse, namely Metroid Samus Returns and Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions DX Ultra Super Exciting Italian Edition? Whatever it's called.
Let me answer both of them. Samus Returns is going to be epic and great. It's definitely revive the Metroid series. Mario Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions is going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be the best RPG. Well, not the best RPG. It's going to be the best
Mario RPG
on the 3DS. Better than Paper Jam, probably because this is just a remake, but it has Bowser's Minions added to it, and that's just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew about Superstar Saga's remake because of Hacker that released a lot of the Sun and Moon stuff early, uncovered it on the eShop. So, I mean, actually seeing it in action, though, was pretty awesome. It's just amazing, even though it's the same engine as Dream Team and Paper Jam. It still looks really good, and I love how they included a new side story in it, which is really cool. As far as the Metroid Samus Returns, I really love the game. Looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely amazing. Like if you just compare the remake of the original Metroid Zero Mission on GBA, to the 3DS remake of Metroid 2 Return of Samus, oh my god, it looks amazing. I was legit surprised when it was announced. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it later this year. And the Metroid amiibo that's accompanying it is squishy! Oh!
It's enough to make a grown man cry.
You sound like a woman!
I think you just woke up my neighbors.
I apologize.
And you probably woke up my family because they're all asleep too, and all the TVs are muted.
Oh well. What do you think GreenCobrasGaming?
Well,
Thank you very much.
I love you, Pancake.
But anyway, well, with the Mario Superstar Saga plus Buzzer Minions, well, I mean, I haven't, like I said, only played a little bit of Paper Jam, like, which I thought was a pretty fun game, and I know Superstar Saga is like one of the best Mario RPG games out there and anything. Just a lot of people really like that. Like, it's up there with 1,000 Years Door, which I also haven't played either. I need to play that too, especially if they create a remake of it. But yeah, I might try it out. I might try to get it whenever it comes out. I might try that, and also with the Metroid 2 remake, Metroid Samus Returns or whatever, or Return of Samus. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Like, I'm excited for the Metroid 2 remake. I mean, it looks pretty cool, and being on 3DS, like, because I know, I think 2D Metroid is probably better on like a 3DS system than the Switch, in my opinion, just because it kind of fit. I mean, like, why? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because having the Switch being also handheld, but at least we get one game on the Switch and then one game on the 3DS. So even though it's going to be a while until the Switch version of Metroid Prime 4 comes out, but nice. I'm probably going to get it because it looks pretty cool and everything, and it's Metroid and all that. So yeah, Metroid 2. I'm looking forward to play and all that.
It
It
actually should be noted that Reggie recently had an interview where he confirmed Metroid Prime 4 is coming out next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because he also talked about the Pokemon game. He said that they're both coming out next year for sure.
Okay.
Really?
I mean, for goodness sakes, if Xenoblade 2 is coming out this year and not getting delayed, obviously Metroid Prime 4 is going to come out also within a year. But I mean, they didn't show off any gameplay, but it's had to have been in development since like late Wii U's lifespan.
Yeah.
This officially confirms everything that I've been saying about the Switch. The first 2 years of the Switch's lifespan is easily millions of times better than the Wii U's ever been.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Not saying the Wii.
Yeah.
Not saying the Wii U was bad, but the Switch's lineup is just so good, and it's
I know.
so early in the lifespan.
I know, that's the thing. I think that's part of the reason why the Switch is doing really good right now. Just that has a really good lineup for at least for a while now.
All right.
And if they keep doing this, the Switch is going to do really good. Like said, if it does this good and keeps it for a very, very long time, it could surpass the PS2 and Pancake could get his champagne.
Did we mention that? Did we mention that during the discussion or before that?
It was mentioned.
We've been recording this for so long.
It was
I think it was mentioned. Yeah, I think it was mentioned during this.
Okay.
I mean, in total overall time, we did just pass 3 hours, so it is tenfold to forget about things that happened so long ago. At this point.
like 2 hours ago, or more.
I believe you still remembered I said that.
Yeah.
There is no way this video is going to be released this month on my channel.
Well, like I said, 3 hours with those breaks though too. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be over 3 hours even without the breaks.
But we only have like 3 questions left.
Sure. Yeah.
Put them all together in one.
Do I get to answer the one we just did, or no?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. I couldn't really get into Superstar Saga that much, but that's nothing to do with the game. It's just the fact that I played Bowser's that story first, and that's my favorite Mario game of all time. Very close to Super Mario Galaxy 2. But the thing about this is it looks great. I love the art style, but there are 2 problems with it that's bugging me. It's not playable in 3D, and I love the 3D effect on 3DS. And it's using the Dream Team engine, and please don't hurt me for saying this, but I did not like Dream Team. The Bowser's Minions mode looks pretty cool. I love the fact that you're controlling a Goomba. If Toad can get his own game, then a Goomba can get his own, at least his own side story in a Mario RPG.
I mean, he is called Captain Goomba. That's his official name. So, Captain Toad, Captain Goomba, let's do this!
Yes!
Captain Goomba's Marvelous Adventure.
I'd buy it.
Yep. But as for Metroid Samus Returns, this is amazing that they're doing this because there have been like rumors of a Metroid 2 remake for a very long time, since the Game Boy Color days, because there was that one picture of a color version of that game. And so this is a long time coming, and the fact that we're getting 2 Metroids is really amazing, considering the fact that after Federation Force, like, a lot of people were questioning whether Metroid was still going to be around, because like everybody hated that game, and like people were wondering if that game's little cells would like completely kill off Metroid. But no, we're getting 2 Metroid games. Both have been something we've been asking for a long time, and it's just mind blowing that this is happening.
Yeah, I know.
Now, as for Samus Returns being a 3DS game, I think this is Nintendo's way of testing the waters to see if people want a 2D Metroid. Because what I believe is that if this game succeeds, they'll make a 2D Metroid for the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Also, like to point out, the last I know quite a bit of people like agree that the last really good Metroid game that we had was Metroid Prime 3. Like, that's good.
Yeah.
Cause a lot of people didn't like him. Well, I haven't played him, but like I know a lot of people didn't like him at all, and just thought it was really a bad game. Like, I have a friend, like the same friend who prefer the 2D Metroid games. He loved the gameplay of him, like playing the game, but he hated the story and the portraying of the character of him.
Yeah, that wasn't that great.
Like, he
say that,
like, he did like the gameplay of how it played, just didn't like the story and the portraying of the game, of the character.
I will say that I'm happy that they're bringing back the melee combat from Other M and having that return in Samus Returns.
Nice.
All right, next question, and this is a big one. What do you think of Super Mario Odyssey?
Oh my god, it looks so amazing. Oh,
yes.
That game's like so... in my opinion, it's probably the game I'm most excited for of all that they showed. Because with Metroid, we didn't... Well, at least with Prime, we didn't get that much. And plus, I'm not a big... With Nintendo, the 2 game series I'm big of is Pokemon and Mario. Well, they're really the 2 biggest ones, and I'm really excited for the Mario. And Mario Odyssey looks so good, and I was so precise when they showed that which is also where you can control different enemies. You can control a tank, like the hat. Like, you're throwing the hat, you can control a tank.
Yes.
Control you can control Goomba. You control a human. you can control a... Sorry for my language. Sorry for my language here, they give to you. A motherfucking T-Rex.
Yes, that is the only way you can describe that. That is amazing.
Like, literally, a motherfucking T-Rex. Like, gee. Like, yes, that. As well as the tank, which is awesome. And as well as Bullet Bill, which was pretty awesome and all. I just... Like, oh my god. And just looks so... As well, it looks really beautiful. Like, this could be one of the best-looking Switch games, I think. Like, Mario Odyssey looks so good and beautiful, and I'm like, oh my... So good. Like, I would like to point this out. This could be better than my favorite Mario game. It could be better than Galaxy 2, in my opinion. Or any 3D Mario game. Or any Mario game in ever. But like, I mean, it might not be as like. I think it could be better, and it could be the best Mario. I mean, not saying it will be. I say it could be as good or even better than Galaxy 2 because Galaxy 2 is my favorite Mario game.
I would not argue with you on that. Mario Odyssey really just does look just that good. This is the Breath of the Wild for Mario.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree with that. This Mario Odyssey just looks really good, and just all the stuff that they just showed, and especially as time goes on, the more stuff they show about it, the more I want it. And I can't wait till it comes out in the end of October too. Like, oh my god, that looks awesome. Like,
yeah, I'm surprised it's coming out in October, because November is usually the month that they release their big holiday games, but no, it's coming out in October, like a month earlier.
Well, late October, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm fairly surprised that they're trusting Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as their before Black Friday title instead of Odyssey. That was a really shocking decision to me as well.
Yeah.
I could see them making a Mario Odyssey bundle for the Switch to release around Black Friday.
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely happening.
Yeah, they definitely gonna. Yeah, I can see that happening. And I would love to see like a Mario amiibo, like Mario Odyssey amiibo, or a hat amiibo, or something like that.
I was gonna say they already have announced Odyssey amiibo, the Wedding Mario, Wedding Peach, and Wedding Bowser.
Yeah. Or like show multiple, like maybe one with a hat or something like that.
I could see I could see the white top hat Cappy amiibo, but I don't think they'll do it for any other ones.
Okay.
Do you think they'll have a wearable hat amiibo?
The Mario one, yeah, I think they might have that one. Either that or Cappy's actual form.
No. What I mean is like an actual hat that you can wear as an amiibo.
No, hell no.
That would be pretty cool though. You just put it on your head, and it can play the amiibo on the Switch by putting it on your head.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah.
All I have to say about Mario Odyssey is, Nintendo, can you just give me a Switch, please?
just gives out like a limited number of free Switches.
You get a Switch, and you get a Switch.
Bundled with Mario Odyssey.
Nintendo, I'll send you a letter with lots of love, pancake,
and flowers.
Send them lots of pancakes
and flowers.
Switch.
You just give him a full year of. You just give Nintendo a full year of supply of free pancakes.
Yeah.
Made by you. Hopefully you're good at making pancakes. I mean, you should be if your name's Pancake.
I want to destroy a city as the T-Rex. Come on.
Oh, yes. That'd be awesome.
Destroy the city. Come on. Destroy. I'm also glad
that.
I have a funny story. I'm sorry, what?
It's Jurassic Park: The Lost World, but controlled as Mario T-Rex.
Of course. Let's hope he's not like T-Rex from the Disney movie Meet the Robinsons with the big head and little arms.
What about the T-Rex?
Oh boy.
What about the T-Rex from We Are Back?
Alright, I have a funny story about the Mario Odyssey trailer.
Yeah.
I know I'm probably going to be the only person who ever thought this, but when that T-Rex first came on screen, my first thought was not Monster Hunter or Xenoblade or anything like that. My first thought was seriously Tomb Raider. Because...
Wow, nice.
Because the original Tomb Raider game and Anniversary, and I think Tomb Raider 3, they all have T-Rex boss battles. So when I see a T-Rex in a video game, I'm immediately going to think Tomb Raider. I don't care about what the art style looks like or anything like that. Even if it looks cartoonish, I'm going to think Tomb Raider. So when I saw the Mario hats, I was all like, oh, it's not Tomb Raider, but oh my god, this game looks good.
Yeah. When they first showed the T-Rex, that part before they showed that hat on the T-Rex, I thought it was Monster Hunter. because we've seen Monster Hunter announcements and other E3 stuff before, like in the E3 conferences before then. So I thought, but the thing is, they did mention Mario Odyssey was going to be shown, So I was like, at first I was thinking it was Monster Hunter, but I was at the same time I was thinking, what about Mario Odyssey? But then it was Mario Odyssey. So
Yeah, your reaction video was pretty great with that.
yeah, like is this Monster Hunter? Like, but like we only have like 2 minutes left. Like, and then they show that this Mario Odyssey. Huh?
Yeah, Nintendo are stepping up their troll game at this point.
Yeah.
It started ever since the Robot Chicken E3, where Reggie literally burned the guy for asking about Mother 3.
Wow. Well, yeah.
But
Ending this. I'm sorry. What?
I was gonna quickly talk about Odyssey before. I guess we're wrapping it up after that.
I had a few more comments to say, but you go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, Mario Odyssey. Yeah, they trolled me. I thought it was Monster Hunter as well at the beginning, but Mario Odyssey looks so good. It looks amazing. I really love the fact that they brought Pauline back to be the mayor of New Donk City. That was really cool. And also, they even talked about it during the Treehouse. They kind of mentioned it where they were like, yeah, Pauline, yeah, last time we saw her, Donkey Kong. I wonder what that's all about. Like, they're kind of basically saying, yeah, Donkey Kong's gonna be in the game in some form, but we can't officially tell you right now. But yeah, you can put the dots together, is basically what they said during the Treehouse at one point. So, Pauline being back, mayor of New Donk City, the game looks so good. Rip me because of the new amiibo after all the others that they ended up announcing. But yeah, the game looks so good. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, I was telling you this before we started recording this, that Nintendo is determined to make us broke this year.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, may I just ask you something, James?
Yeah, sure.
Why would you think it's Monster Hunter?
Because they showed like an open field and then they showed a T-Rex. I wasn't the only one who thought it was Monster Hunter. Come on now, why are you singling out me?
I thought it was too.
I thought it was Tomb Raider. Why aren't you complaining about me?
Yeah, I know. He said Tomb Raider. What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought it was Monster Hunter. I thought it was gonna be Monster Hunter too. So you know,
I immediately knew it was gonna be Mario Odyssey. What the heck's wrong with you people?
Well, they showed a T-Rex, and once they showed the cat,
T-Rex, they showed the T-Rex, El T-Rexo,
and looked like it would be something from Monster Hunter.
I mean, my second guess after seeing it, because my Monster Hunter is iffy with what they do. My second guess would have been another Fossil Finders game.
I mean, that would be cool.
Oh, I forgot that existed. I'm a bad person.
Yeah. We all are on different stuff.
Hey, don't you lump me in with all of you people.
Hey, you're the you're the one that thought Skyrim was
shut up!
Too.
Hey, you're the one who thought Skyrim could never be on a Nintendo system.
Yeah, suck it!
Yeah. No.
I've never doubted.
I have one more comment about Mario Odyssey before we move on, if that's okay.
Yeah, let's bump this up to a 4-hour discussion. Yeah, woo!
And Lady Get to You was the one that hasn't played Pokemon until like a year or so ago.
Let's get off of it.
I know.
All right, it's just a quick comment. It's just a quick comment about Mario Odyssey. Oh my god, that theme song is so catchy.
Oh, I downloaded it immediately.
Me too.
Nice.
So good.
Nice. Yeah, it was pretty nice.
I've listened to it like 50 times since that trailer, and I'm not tired of it.
Same.
Nice. Yeah, like it was pretty awesome music though.
All right, I'm going to merge these last two questions into one because who knows how long we've been recording now, but
3 hours and 16 minutes.
Okay, so 4 more to go. Do you have any final thoughts on E3 this year, and how are you feeling about the Nintendo Switch's future?
Well,
I'll go first, I guess. My final thoughts on E3. All in all, It was meh until the end when Nintendo showed up, where it became great. But one thing I will say that was pretty surprising. This happened after E3, and I hope you guys don't mind if I mention this. But Atari announced its new console after E3.
Is that real, or is that something people are making up?
Now, I saw a trailer for it on a channel known as the Atari Box, and I'm just mentioning it here because it was announced after E3. And I feel like if Atari was really going to come out and announce a new console, they should have done it during E3. But that's all I'm going to say about it. My final thoughts on E3, it was meh in the beginning, but then it got super great at the end. What was the second question?
How are you feeling about the Switch's future?
The Switch's future looks brighter than the Wii U's. It's obviously going to be Nintendo's best-selling console of probably ever. And I just have really high hopes for it. Like, I hope it gets lots of new games, lots of third-party games, lots of ports. Because ports are a good thing. GameCube games should be on the eShop probably next year. All in all, the Switch future's bright. You know.
All right, what about you, Brandon?
Well, E3 was pretty good. Like I said, Nintendo won E3 and was the best with all the different games announced that we already talked about. Sony was really disappointing. Microsoft was pretty good, I thought. I mean, it wasn't, like I said, like, I thought it was really good, but it wasn't, the best. Like I said, Nintendo is. Ubisoft was surprisingly good. EA and Bethesda, not so good that much either, not really. But yeah, I mean, Nintendo and Ubisoft were pretty good. Were like those hot ones this year. And Microsoft was alright. And then Sony and Bethesda and EA weren't really that good at all. Which, I mean, you kind of assume that from EA. And Bethesda usually can. It was usually not that super good. But can be. Which wasn't this year, though. But with also games that, like I said, also one thing that we have not mentioned about one of the things that wasn't shown at E3, wasn't shown at the conference, but was shown like as just a trailer later on, was the Undertale for PS4, which I just started that just a few minutes ago, actually. Which I mean,
I find it weird they're making it for the PlayStation Vita as well, because I'm pretty sure even Sony acknowledges that thing's dead now.
Yeah, it's just plus I guess they're just trying to get the game game to be besides just on Steam and everything, just expanding the game to like consoles. Because Shovel Knight, like that game came out on Nintendo consoles, and then later on it came out onto Xbox and PlayStation and all that. Shovel Knight did. And even cameoed in Ukulele and all that. Shovel Knight did. So like Intel's kind of getting more stuff than just instead of just Steam, it's now going to be on PS4 and Vita and all that. But with the announced, which they did not show it at conference, but they talked they showed a trailer. Which with the Vita, I don't know why, because the PlayStation or Sony's not even supporting the Vita anymore, so kind of really doesn't make sense. It's not really doesn't make sense going out for. I mean, I guess for people who are Vita players or not can get it and everything, but kind of really doesn't make sense coming out for the Vita.
Yeah, during Sony's conference when they highlighted all their hardware, the Vita was nowhere near that. They had the two PlayStation 4s and their VR set.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think there's no point of releasing for the Vita just because Sony / PlayStation doesn't even support the system anymore at all. And for a while now they haven't. Because the Vita's pretty much dead. Like, the Wii U's pretty much dead now too, but like, the Vita's been dead for a while and not near as much support as compared to what the Wii U was that Nintendo did. But yeah, but anyway, and also like I said, I'm excited for the Life is Strange prequel, which I mentioned earlier ago. But anyway, yeah, but the future for the Switch, I think the future for the Switch is gonna be pretty sweet. Like, you know, because you're having it being a hybrid between a console and being on TV. You got quite third-party games coming to the Switch, and hopefully more, especially if the third-party games do good. Hopefully bring more games and just brings a bunch of people to that. And there's those people that get get consoles or certain consoles for third-party games, and there's those people that will get the Switch just to play the third-party games on the Switch and all that. And as well as, you know, other games like other games like, you know, maybe it's like seeing like how they know a new Metroid game, a new Mario game, a new Pokemon game, and all that on that Switch. Yeah, and like I don't know if like the Switch could like I said, the Switch could become the best selling console, or could become the best Nintendo console. It may not reach PlayStation, but it might become like the best Nintendo console, like better than the Wii and all that. But it might not reach PS2 or DS level, but I think it could. Like, it could if it does really well. And it lasts for a long time. It definitely could. But yeah, I'm just excited to play some of the games for the Switch and all that, and excited to see what's in the future for the Switch.
Yeah. So first party on point for the Switch right now, and within the next year also, because everything they have lined up for 2018 also is looking good. I assume at the end of next year's E3 we'll probably get a hint either at the Smash port or an Animal Crossing, or maybe both. Really, alls they would need after those two are the 18th Star Fox 64 remake and a new F-Zero. And they could, realistically, they should just hand off the F-Zero franchise to the team behind Fast RMX. I mean, come on now. Or give it to Sega and let them remake GX from GameCube. Either way, first-party support's great. All they really need is continued third-party support. And judging off of what we've had so far, just in their first year, compared to the Wii U and what we're getting probably with next year as well, even though I don't think there's really any next year titles yet, third-party wise, announced for the Switch. Still, I think what was that?
We have that Shin Megami Tensei game that was teased.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm surprised they didn't show that off this year.
But yeah.
But yeah, the third-party support, just even comparing, like I mentioned, comparing the first year of third-party support for the Switch compared to the Wii U, far better for the Switch. So, hopefully the Switch will continue to succeed. Hopefully it'll be around for at least another 5 years before they decide whether or not they want to do a new console handheld hybrid, or if they just want to go the 3DS route and create a new XL, mini, whatever they want to do. But hopefully the Switch will be around for a long, long time.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully they don't take a few more years. Hopefully they don't waste a new console in a few more years, which I don't think is going to happen. I think it's going to be a while until they release another new console. Hopefully.
My overall thoughts on E3, EA and Bethesda were okay for their fan bases, I guess. Microsoft was good, although I don't really care that much for the Xbox One. Sony was disappointing. Ubisoft was pleasantly surprising. Nintendo was amazing this year. And as for the Switch's future, it's a really good time to be a Nintendo fan right now, because they're doing everything right with the Switch. Their marketing is really great. The lineup for the games is pretty great so far. I'm really looking forward to see what they announce in the future. I am disappointed that they didn't talk about Virtual Console at E3, but looking back on it, it wasn't the place to talk about that, so I understand why they didn't do it. I am surprised though that nobody got upset over the fact that there was no Smash Brothers announced, but this is just the first year of the system, and the first lineup is already packed. The first year lineup is already packed as it is, so it doesn't make sense to release Smash Brothers right now. But overall, I'm really looking forward to the Switch, and I'm really excited for the fact that this might be the first console that I've developed a game for, because I'm studying game development in college, and we might get Switch certificates in my school, and that's going to be awesome, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
But for real though, can we talk about the fact that if we don't count Nintendo's Spotlight, since it's not technically a traditional E3 conference, at least in my opinion, Ubisoft was the best conference this year. Can we talk about that for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ubisoft
wow.
was. Yeah, Ubisoft was surprised. Like, oh my god. Like, yeah.
I don't really play a whole lot of Ubisoft games, but I cannot deny that their conference was awesome.
Yep.
Well, the thing with Microsoft is, at first it was just because of the backwards compatible. I thought they beat Ubisoft, but then when I actually really think more about it, Ubisoft beat Microsoft, but like Nintendo. Well, obviously I knew Nintendo won, but then like Nintendo, Ubisoft, then Microsoft, then Sony, then Bethesda, then EA.
Yeah, Ubisoft starting off with their conference with having Miyamoto on stage talking about a Mario and Rabbids crossover RPG that looks awesome, and ending it on a Beyond Good and Evil 2 teaser. That was amazing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was so good. Like, it was so, especially after one thing is that I kind of wish that Sony's was before Ubisoft, because Ubisoft was so good, but Sony's was like after Ubisoft, so it kind of like with Sony's being disappointing, it kind of made me sad the rest of the night and everything. So I kind of wish that Ubisoft went second, so it kind of made me happy again and everything when E3 happened. So, but still excited that still was shocking that Ubisoft won, and then glad that Nintendo won, especially being the last people of the conferences. I'm glad that Nintendo won.
Yeah, there's no denying that overall Nintendo had the best presentation.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But the thing is about what Brandon mentioned about how he initially thought Microsoft was better than Ubisoft. I can see the argument for that, because they did announce the original Xbox backwards compatibility, and I mean, they did have their next console reveal, so I mean, I can see the argument for that, but yeah, in my opinion, and apparently we all agree now, that Ubisoft was better than Microsoft overall.
Yeah, I mean, it was close. For me, it was kind of close just because, the backwards compatible, and like, quite a bit of the games looked interesting, but like, on Microsoft, but like, I wasn't really, none of them I was really that much excited for. But some of them did look interesting, which is also another reason why at first I kind of thought, but then when I thought more about it, Ubisoft beat Microsoft.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And Nintendo definitely beat everything else.
Yep.
Nintendo beat everybody with a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. With the 4.
Just like the 4 people that are talking right now.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, brother. The last thing I want to mention real quick before we end this off is there any doubt in our minds that Metroid and Pokemon are going to be their big focus next year?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, I think Metroid will be their big one, yeah.
Yeah, I think those two. Well, if Pokemon next year is the main, if it's the main series, definitely.
Yeah,
I think if it's like Generation 8, yeah, it'll be a big focus, but I think Metroid will take precedence.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I think it would be big for from Pokemon, if it's a main Pokemon game or it's like a sequel or some third thing to XD/Coliseum. Like, I think if it's one of those two things with Pokemon, that's gonna be pretty big. But if it's anything else, it might depending on what it is.
And before it's just a mystery dungeon game and everybody's disappointed.
Yeah. Well, thing is with Mystery Dungeon, the first two. Well, when I meant first two, I meant like the first one, the original two. Then the sequels, which I guess not really sequels, but like the second Mystery Dungeon set that came out with the Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. In my opinion, Time, Darkness, Sky are the best. Then like anything after that, just hasn't been doing as good. But like, we might see a Mystery Dungeon, and who knows? A lot of people might be disappointed at being in that.
Yeah, who knows what they're going to be doing?
Yeah, who knows? Time will tell.
Yep.
All right, so you guys ready to end off this video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
No, we're only halfway done.
It's almost.
I will kill you in your sleep.
Let's talk about 2016 again.
I'm already asleep.
I
I might be already awake.
just
Alright.
like a good night's sleep after this.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep right after this.
Yep. I'm not even gonna hang up. I'm just gonna go right to sleep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But let's end this off in a bang.
I mean, for Christ's sakes, it's nearly 5 a.m. for me. Can we get on with it?
Yeah, it's almost
Not
4
until the sun rises, young man.
I will kill you in your sleep, too.
It's almost 4. He's going to kill himself in his sleep.
No, I'm killing all of you in your sleeps, and I'm going to be alive and be sane again.
And then
Hashtag make James sane again.
and then we haunt you. Then we haunt you for the rest of your life.
Nope.
So since I'm the one who began the video, should I end it off?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, we still also got to do our outros for our versions of the videos, but
you can go ahead and do his outro first.
All right. Well, anyways, this has been the E3, whatever this was that lasted for a very long time. This isn't even a video anymore. This is a whatever.
This is a podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes.
saying. I was about to say that. Yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching us just crack like eggs. I've been Pancakearmorman. These guys have been
TheJamesRolls.
Lady GreenCobrasGaming.
The GreenCobrasGaming, and we're out.
Let's get out of here because I'm done.
Thank you
Until
for
next time.
watching, and until next time, catch you later. I'm going to bed now. Goodbye.
Yeah, I'm going to bed
Bye.
too. So bye.
Good night, sweetheart.
Until next time, Lady Gear to you. Oh yeah.
Shut up! I'm trying to sleep.